if you want to start it off, Crusader.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I have made this disclaimer several times during my portion of my individual stream, but I will say it again. I'm gonna turn off my music so people can hear me. But
Oh, same.
so, like I said, we are going to address the elephant in the room. But I want to make a very clear, transparent, and explicit disclaimer that this stream, this podcast, is not an attempt to further damage Daltush's character or career any more that he has done to himself. I'm going to say that again. This stream, this podcast, is not an attempt to damage Daltush's character or career any more that he has done to himself. And any opinions that we have in this Discord call, in this podcast, is strictly among us and does not represent any larger organizations that we may be a part of.
Okay.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Okay.
I will say, I'm sad.
I am
Not a
very
good
sad as well.
situation.
It,
Yeah, I don't
it,
think
it
I don't
hurts.
think anybody's happy over it. You shouldn't be anyway. Nobody should be
Right.
celebrating it.
No.
You know.
Well, there's that, and then there's
Sucks.
people that just don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that too.
Hmm.
But it comes from a
So-
place of ignorance. Of course, they don't know. Usually.
But it's like you're 20 years old, 25. Why don't you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't really like people need to educate themselves. There's not
Mm.
something that you can't force people to want to. It's like in the same sense of like you can't help someone who doesn't want to help. You know?
Oh, okay. So there are people that actually don't know the situation at all. Sorry to cut you off, Joe, but there's a lot
Oh,
of
no,
people
you're
asking.
Fine,
Oh yeah.
Wait, Peach, you're not muted, are you? People are saying you're muted. I just think you haven't said anything
am.
for a sec. Oh, okay. No, I think they said you were muted, like I muted you on accident. No, I think.
Oh,
you're
no,
good.
no, no.
Okay. Okay. So there are people that are very like they don't even know the situation at all. Does anybody want to explain it in its
I
totality?
would like to.
Okay, you go, Milana.
Okay. So a few days ago, Daltush was watching or he was reacting to something on YouTube, and it was a golf video. A guy in the video appeared, and he had a very strong tan line, and he then compared the white part of his tan line to a 401k, and the dark side of his tan line to a quote unquote nay. Twitter kind of split in half that day. There were a lot of people who didn't get offended by the joke, and there are a lot of people who got offended by the joke. And then there are the people disrespecting the people who got offended by the joke. That happened on day one. Now we have day two. A video was released, which was a clip of Daltush talking about his views on the N-word. And in said video, he says that he feels that it's stupid that people get mad when non-Black Americans say the N-word, and that he doesn't give a quote-unquote fuck, and that he is 100% educated on the situation and no one can tell him otherwise, and that Black people, that I will say this, he didn't necessarily say Black people, he said they are just crybabies or something along those lines in the video. Something about just cancel culture or snowflakes. You guys know that whole ordeal. This video surfaced, I think, was it yesterday?
Yeah, last night.
Last night. And I was heartbroken, honestly. But that's not it. After, Daltush's old Twitter was also brought up. And this Twitter has always been accessible to the public, but
Wait, I didn't even know this part. I
Mhm.
haven't heard this. This is new information for me. Anybody else? Have y'all heard about this?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
I heard about it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm the only one out of the loop with the old Twitter then. Okay.
Yes.
Monka W.
So,
Alright, lay it on me.
his old Twitter had resurfaced, and it was from 2013 when he was a senior in high school. just the entire Twitter page is just full of vulgarity and racism and misogyny and just blatantly disgusting jokes and just insensitive terms. Now, that's the story. And I kind of want to transition to my opinion a little bit on the Twitter account, and then I'm gonna, let you guys have the floor. I personally am not. Oh, and another thing I should say, I forgot to mention, and in the video that resurfaced about Daltouche, he admitted to saying the N-word off of stream. He said, "Of course, I say it off of stream," and then proceeded that he doesn't give a fuck. But back to the Twitter page. I personally am not someone who likes to hold someone to their past, right? That's not something I would do. I don't like to quote unquote cancel someone because of something they did when they were in fucking high school. But the reason it is prevalent in this situation is because there are people defending him, saying that we need to educate him, we need to give him a chance, he needs to be able to redeem himself, or that he never, it was just a joke, or it was insensitive, or he wasn't thinking. But you've had this pattern from 2013 to 2021. And then the clip that was taken in 2020. So not only did you lie in your apology, not only have you lied to all of us in general multiple times about your use of the N-word, about your ignorance and just his lack of, taking accountability. He's just been lying. And all the people wanted was a fair apology from him. But what did we get? We got my fault, LOL. We got a bunch of Caucasian men and women accepting the apology on our behalf, making it seem as though his actions are excusable. That is what's happening. Okay. We cannot. I just don't understand how many chances we need to give someone. Why is it my job to educate him as well? And another thing that I would like to mention, okay? I've heard Daltouche say that he went to Florida State University and that he studied Black culture there. Why the fuck do I need to educate someone who took college courses on Black culture? Why the fuck do I have to give someone a chance? Like because he doesn't know, because he was ignorant when he studied it, or when he claims to have studied it.
For that, I would say, what does the Black culture class actually entail? Does it actually talk about Black history in terms
But
of
the thing is, it's not really about what it entails. It's about him using that as a way to think that he's some sort of, like, he just knows.
Oh, I see. He
it's
used
not
that to defend himself, is what you're saying?
Yes, it's like he uses this to as though it's like a pass or and to deflect. Thank you, Peach. That was my point of bringing that up right there.
If anybody else wants to go, anybody?
No, you're good to go, Crusader.
Yeah, go.
I see some questions in chat saying like, well, if it was some long ago and these videos were, doesn't it doesn't reflect who he is today. I just want to bring up the fact that what Movana said, how it's a lot more damning when your behavior now is reinforced by behavior that has been brought up to us from 2013. And it's one thing where you make a mistake and you try to hold accountability for it, it's one thing where you try to discredit the targeted group that is trying to tell you that you were wrong, and then, like I said, once that information resurfaces, that tells us that you have not learned from 2013 to 2021, there is a problem, and it's hard to take your word in good faith moving forward. And he didn't want to do he didn't have interest in doing right by the black community who took offense to his words. He
And
did
to
the
cut
bare
you off
minimum.
really quickly, I want to add to that. One way that I know that he does not care about the backlash, he does not care about apologizing. He only cares about himself. And you want to know why? Because he removed all of his sponsors from his bio. Can you tell me what, not necessarily innocent or guilty, but what person who just doesn't get, like, why would you do that?
He's flailing. He's flailing. He knows that cancel culture is on the rise. From a content creator's perspective, that's a smart thing to do. That's not the wrong thing to do at all. I mean,
It's wrong to do it before addressing the community and apologizing in a correct manner. Of course, it's the wrong thing to do in terms of the timeline.
It was in the series of events of how he handled that situation, to where he kind of just did the bare minimum apology and then proceeded to do something to make a tweet that ultimately distracted his community from the bigger situation, which was the grapple hook challenge for Pathfinder. Everybody told him, like, you need to take this down and confront the situation at hand. And even to this day, he still has not responded. He still hasn't said anything. So when he made that move of removing his bio, yes, that was a very bad move and a very wrong thing to do. And when people found out that he was liking tweets that was rallying to his defense, made it even worse. So once we saw that he doesn't want to do right by us, we pretty much remove the luxury of benefit of the doubt. And what I mean by that is letting him move on, or letting him take the time to figure that stuff out. Like, you know, people always try to have empathy for the oppressor before the oppressed. Like, people bring up cancel culture, or people bring up being toxic, or people just saying we want clout or whatever. And I said this so many times on my stream prior to this podcast, but a lot of the times when we are trying to hold someone accountable, it is people for some reason think that it is a campaign to tear their career away from them, which is not what we want to do. We do not want to remove anybody from their career or stop people from doing what they're doing. Most of the times we don't want them to lose their career. But when you show us that you have no interest in using your platform to do right by us when you messed up, that's when the benefit of the doubt is gone, and that's when you have us on attack.
And another thing to add on to what you were saying, and kind of to what you were saying, Diego. For those of you in here that follow me, you guys know that I have a very strong hatred for the term cancel culture. And here's why. Especially in this situation, a lot of people are throwing the term cancel culture around as though it isn't deserving. As though simply holding someone accountable is the wrong thing to do. No one is trying to cancel anybody. We're just trying to hold him accountable. That's all it is. If somebody does something bad, listen, if somebody does something bad, is it wrong to want them to face the consequences for it?
No. But to add on to that, I think where a lot of it actually comes from is the fact that I want to ask this question just out of curiosity, because I don't know the appropriate answer to this, is whenever somebody makes an inappropriate joke like Daltouche made, right? Or an inappropriate comment or an inappropriate opinion or something that's bigoted or racist. What would have been the appropriate response to that? What would have been the 100% acceptable apology? Like what would that have looked like for you?
Drumbum?
Yeah, I would like to just speak up on one thing. I made a statement. A lot of you might have saw it, might have not. Publicly on Twitter yesterday, and I caught a lot of backlash for saying that I was okay with the fact that he apologized so quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
What a lot of you guys are saying here, what Crusader said, I have no intent to ever diminish another person, to take away from another person. I can only speak on what affects me personally and those who are around me that are affected personally. My issue, my big issue that has now turned into these other things, but my big issue was the allowance of the response of the community around the issue to not be addressed by him in particular. Once again, like I'm like what I mean by that is there were tweets of a lot of people who were saying, you know, if you're offended by this, if you have a problem with this, if you're saying anything about it, you're soft, or you're just trying to cancel him, or you're just like what we just talked about, right? Like you're just trying to cancel him, you're just trying to shut it down, you're trying to, oh, you hate on him, you hate on, dude. Up to this, I mean, up to, you know, everything. I've never had a problem with the man. I respect the content grind. I'm literally on the organization that he used to be on. You know what I mean? There's never been any like I've never been out here looking to find, oh no, what's he gonna do? When can I, like, that's never been a thing. My biggest problem was if it's me in that situation and I screwed up, let's say I said something degrading about women, right? And I have all these people saying, oh no, he's good. Like, we know that he said all these good things before, like, or he's done these good things before. He might have messed up, but it's all good. Like, y'all stop tripping on him, right? My job as the person who screwed up is, no, like, I messed up. And like, I should take the consequences that come with me messing up. So don't defend me.
And that is accountability,
Yeah, of course, 100%.
not cancel culture.
And don't come at, you know, don't come to my aid in a situation where I am openly apologizing for messing up. Now, if I'm fighting for my right to, you know, and if I'm in a situation where I'm fighting for my, you know, fighting to say that, oh no, I didn't do anything wrong, this is why, that's a different circumstance, a different situation. But if I'm already apologizing, but I got all my homies, my community, my this, all saying, nah, y'all are soft, y'all are weak, y'all are soft, that makes me look like I'm saying that as well. Because you are who you keep around you, you are your community is you, right? You represent what you represent. And if I know that my community is out here doing things that I don't agree with, that I don't, you know, take accountability for, if I'm not saying like my apology means something, but I'm out here saying on the low, like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna like that tweet because that's wild. And I'm gonna, damn, my community all in this chat right now saying all these crazy things and da 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 da. I'm gonna say no. Like, you guys need to understand that I screwed up and I am sorry, and I take it seriously that I'm sorry. I take what I'm saying seriously. That is what affects me personally the most.
Yeah, like it's almost like they downplayed they can almost downplay your own apology.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they can
Right.
make you feel like what you did was okay and reinforce that really like shitty behavior.
And do you want to
100%.
know what I think? I think that the people around him and his stands made the situation a lot worse than he did.
100%.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
That's kind of like what
If-
I've been
if-
thinking is like, it's
if
not
his-
really. Oh, go
Forgive
ahead,
me.
Mona.
No,
Say
forgive me. You can go. I promise.
No, I was just gonna say it's like I know that like what's going on with Touche is like what kind of sparked everything, but that's not like the root of the issue, you know. Like, and like I see people in chat saying like, invite Touche in here, let him explain himself, blah blah. But this, like, we're talking about Touche because that's what sparked this, but that's not the like origin of this issue.
Yeah.
Like that's
Right.
not.
It's
that's
really
what
not.
we're
It's
here
bigger
to
than him.
discuss.
It's way
way
bigger.
bigger.
Much
100%.
bigger than Touche.
Way
It's much
bigger.
bigger than the joke he made. It's just an accumulation
Not
of a
just the
lot of
joke.
shit. Yeah, it's an accumulation of a lot of things, and like I think that's what people are misunderstanding is that this is not strictly about Touche.
Yeah, this is not we're
it's
not
the
attacking Touche and he
yeah,
has to defend
no.
himself right now.
Yeah,
Like
it's-
that's not my position.
yeah,
That's
we're
not
not
my
here to
personal
cancel
position at
Touche.
all.
I don't care about canceling people. I don't want anyone to lose their career. I don't want people to lose their life. I don't want people to lose the things that they worked hard for because of a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes, right? But there needs to be some sort of accountability that needs to be held, and there needs to be some realization. And then on top of that, like having that accountability and taking, you know, taking what's getting thrown at you and trying to rectify the situation, there also needs to be some change involved with that. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where the topic is. Like that I think there's a lot of people that are confused. Like that's where the topic is going, is that it's not about canceling someone. It's not about any of this. It's about hearing that they're genuinely they're genuinely apologetic for what they did, and then on top of that, they're willing to change their habits and they're willing to change their perspective on things because they know that it's probably not right.
I'm gonna say one thing to that, and I'm gonna be quiet for a little while. But I agree with Joe 1,000%. We have to recognize, man, when you sign up to be a content creator, you're not just doing it for yourself, right? You understand that you have a level of influence. That's why we're called influencers. Whether you have 10 viewers, 20 viewers, 1,000 viewers, 10K, it doesn't matter. We're all influencing other people, right? So we put ourselves in a position to make a lot of people feel a lot of things. You got to understand that. And I'm not talking about just one person. This goes for every single one of us. This is not just for Daltouche or for anybody else who's been in this situation, unfortunately, like him as well. We all have the responsibility of recognizing that we have an influence on other people and what they believe to be okay, right? And when I say that, I mean, if I say something disrespectful that is blatantly harmful to other people, even if I don't recognize it in the moment, and I'm told then it is wrong and messed up, it is my responsibility to spread that knowledge that I've just gained to the people that I influence and know, like, yo, guys, this ain't cool, right? Like, what I did isn't cool, so you shouldn't do it either. But understanding that when you believe it to be just a joke, a mess, like whatever you believe it to be, and it stays that way, you're now in the part of the hindrance instead of the positive change for the future and all the people that are engaging with you. So my number one thing about this entire thing is recognizing the fact that it's bigger than just one person. Honestly, I hope in everything in my heart, and if you're in chat somehow listening and you're upset with me for this, that's completely okay. Like I said, I've said this once, I've said this 1,000 times. I've been black my whole life. That ain't never gonna change. And it's a part of who I am. But I want that man to understand, everybody, every single racist, bigot, homophobic, hate, any form of hate that I've ever run into in my life, I always want somebody to come out better on the other side. Always. I have a degree in education. Literally what I believe in is teaching, molding, helping, growing, right? And I want to help and grow myself every single day. And if I can do anything, if I can say one thing that allows other people to understand, then I've done my job on this planet. I truly believe that. I truly do believe that.
Yeah, I honestly think that
if we can go through this situation the right way, this is the last thing I promise. I'm gonna shut up for sure.
Yeah, go for it.
If once, him in the community and around this, and everybody around this can come out of this smarter and better and understanding of other people and understanding of why, instead of just shutting it down or shutting it up or starting the drama. No, I could care less.
You're
about
soft,
the drama.
you're snowflake. Like,
yeah, I could care
shouldn't
less
be
about
everybody's first reactions.
I could care less about the drama. What I care about is all of us understanding that we can be better every single day. And that includes him, but that includes every one of us around it, including myself and how I react, including all the homies, including every single person who's ever watched a Twitch channel, anyone who's ever watched us, watched him, anything. I just want everybody to be better than they were yesterday. And that's literally how I feel about the entire thing. And that's why I made the post that I made, if anybody did see the post that I made. But no, I'm done. Sorry. I just wanted to get that very clear and very
you made a good point. So
yeah, very good point. Yeah, like I honestly, I wholeheartedly believe that Daltouche will come out the other side of this, and I don't think that he's going to get canceled. I do think that he will come out of this with new perspectives, and I really hope that he does, because Daltouche, and I'm going to give you the reason why I think that, and why I think Daltouche actually has strong character. Daltouche, if anybody has known Daltouche since season 0, that guy used to be an asshole. He used to be a complete asshole.
Fuck yeah.
He has grown so much personality-wise in just the past 2 years, man. And it has been insane. That guy has inspired me to be less toxic on stream. Just from how much he's changed in the past 2 years. Like, I couldn't even imagine. He changed that much in 2 years. I can't imagine how much he's changed since high school, bro. And I think that he's gonna come out of it like a better person, 100%. Because I know that he has that will to change, and I know that he has that will not to be a nasty person, just from what I've seen him change in the past 2 years. And I'm hoping that he can change like that again, because and that's just it's a spot for me, just because I was inspired by Daltouche. I whenever I saw that he changed like that and that he could be less toxic on stream and more chill from the spot that he was, I was like, dude, if he can do that, fuck, I can do that. you know?
Go
And
ahead, finish.
Uh, I, I don't agree with you, Diego, and I'm sure you probably expected that. Now I know he's probably changed since high school, but
mhm.
the issue is bringing up his high school days is not to talk about a reflection of his current character. It's to talk about the pattern that in 7 years you didn't change. You're telling me in the 2 years
Pattern.
in the 2 years you've been in this community and all the racial injustice and the Black Lives Matter protests, you telling me through that 7 years you didn't think, maybe like I probably shouldn't say the N-word, or maybe I shouldn't go on rants on stream and encourage a bunch of toxic and a bunch of toxic people to go into other people's streams, or to call these Black people snowflakes. Maybe you know what I'm saying? And
Yes, I completely understand.
and another thing, your belief in Daltouche is beautiful. You believe in people, okay?
Yeah, I do.
And
I
that's
very much
nice.
do.
That is really nice. I love to see that. But this is probably someone you shouldn't believe in, because I have watched Daltouche for as long as you have. In fact, I am a 2-year subscriber to him. So imagine to my surprise and how hurt I was to find out that someone that I've idolized for 2 years actually doesn't give a fuck about my culture and would rather get on Twitter and Twitch and make jokes about my culture, and then have these friends that make joke about my culture too. So imagine to my surprise, as a 2-year subscriber, as someone who watched his stream every single day. So that's why I can understand. Hold on, that's why I can understand your belief in him. But I've heard Daltouche go, well, and in the clip specifically, he's like, oh well, I can't say it on stream. And he's always talking about on stream. He's always talking about cancel culture and this, that, and the third. I don't think he's necessarily changed. I think Daltouche changed, not Dalton. He changed for his image. He changed because he would lose his career if he didn't. You're telling me of 7 years, a 7-year history of just being vile and just racially disgusting through everything, that suddenly now you're going to change. That you got caught.
You don't think that Daltouche could ever change then in your eyes? You think that he's stuck in his ways forever with that mindset? There's no way that you believe that.
I think I've known Daltouche for a very long time, and he has a very strong character, and something he believes in, he will believe in. And if this is something he believes in,
ever change? Even if you tried to educate him, even if his friends and family tried to educate him, you don't think that he
But do you think that would happen? What's the likelihood of that happening, my friend? I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying 100%, but what's the likelihood of that actually happening? What's the likelihood of him just staying quiet for a week or two and then coming back like nothing happened? That's probably more likely than anything you just said.
See, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to I don't want to assume that. I don't want to diminish his character. Now, I think he's as Black people,
character.
The thing is that we as Black people, we are returning the same energy that he gives us. Just at how he started this and reacted to it and responded and associated himself with the people that are defending his racist words and rhetoric. That is how we are going to react to it. You don't want to use your platform for good. You don't want to take the time to hear us out and understand why we feel the way that we feel. We're gonna return that same energy, bro. We're gonna be like, all right, man, you don't want to hear us out, so you are an enemy to us right now.
And that's how I view him in my eyes, unfortunately.
But the thing is, Movana, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that is the be all end all. That is not the ultimatum. If he comes back and act like nothing's happened, then that's just
that would be the breaking point for you.
That would be the breaking point. Then that's not what I'm hoping for. I am not hoping for him to come back. Just like Drum and Joe said, I'm not here to wish that upon him, and I'm not hoping for it, because I don't care about Daltouche. I've never really interacted with the guy. And like I said, cancel culture, people seem to associate it with as a campaign to tear down people's careers, which is never the case. All we want is to you to understand why the things you said is wrong, and we can move on. But Daltouche didn't do that.
And if you can't even do that, what makes you think you can make a full fucking circle?
Also, I just want to. I see this ass in chat. I just want to make this one clear statement. You can't make you cannot make jokes on other people's trauma. If you're not black, you cannot make jokes about our trauma. Only we can do that. If me, Peach and Movana are walking in a rich ass white neighborhood and we make a joke saying like, damn, we can never afford this if we black, and then we can do that. Okay, we can do that. We can say that about ourselves. And funny enough, I used to live in a rich white neighborhood in South Carolina, and people looked at me funny. I've been there, so we can do that. You are not allowed. If you are not black, you are not allowed to make jokes about other people's traumas. And the fact that he made a joke specifically about financial issues, dog, you're walking on thin ice, bro.
You want to know something from me? Truthfully, I was one of the black people who weren't offended by his joke. In fact, I was just like, okay, whatever, you know? That's not what I'm mad about. And a lot of people are neglecting this new video. A lot of people are like, honestly, in my opinion, it's not even about the joke anymore. It has gone far beyond that. There is a video clip of him just being blatantly disrespectful, and no one is holding him accountable for it. If you notice something, allow me to point out this pattern for you, okay? Every single person that has defended him, every single tweet longer, every single notes thing. Do you want to know something they're saying? The only thing that they are addressing is the joke, when it is no longer about the joke anymore.
Yeah,
it has progressed so much beyond that point. Like I said, I am one of the black people that did not even get offended by the joke, you know, but it's not about that. And I wish people would stop saying it. I really do. It's not the joke anymore.
I actually didn't even see the joke first. I saw him talking about saying the N-word first. So that's what I saw first. And I was like, bro, Touche. Like, I remember that what really sticks with me is that he said that the N-word isn't even related to slavery. There's no relation there. And my mind was blown.
Oh my God.
I was just like, and I was like, you don't know what you're saying, because that's literally the most ignorant thing I've ever heard. You know,
and then he proceeds to say, "I'm quote unquote, I'm 100% educated on the subject. I do not give a fuck. For me. No one can tell me otherwise." You motherfucker. What?
That was the part that did it for me. He went on to say that he is educated. He knew what he was talking about, and that was the part that did it for me. I'm not discrediting the video. Like, I'm 100% taking that into account. And I'm just more focused on the pattern, like you said, Movana. I'm more focused on the pattern of how everything is happening. Where it's just, I don't, like, as of right now, I don't have any reason to believe that he has learned from these past situations. That's my take on it.
I mean, it's hard to tell, but, and I think, especially a situation like this, right? I want to think of it from his perspective, and I want to try to figure out, like, is he trying to digest all of this information right now and actually come out with something constructive and positive? And that's what I'm hoping for him. That's what I'm hoping for, is that I'm hoping he's digesting all of this. I hope that he's getting educated about, you know, why it's not okay to just sling the N-word around. And that it is related to slavery, and that it does carry pain, you know, because those are things that are unequivocally true. But I'm just hoping for that, because I don't wanna hope for anything else. That's the thing. You know what I mean?
I would love to hear what Peach has to say about anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Peach is crying.
I would love to hear what Peach has
to say. Talk to us, girl.
Not trying to interrupt anyone, but
speak your truth.
Yeah, go.
So with what you just said, Diego, you hope he's learning and absorbing everything that's been said. That's how everyone felt when he first made that apology. And then when you go to his profile and you look in, you're like, the fans are looking to see, what is he replying to, what is he liking? First thing you see, I'm looking at his profile right now. If you ain't rocking with Touche, I ain't rocking with you. Then you like the Designful tweet, and then you argue with somebody on Twitter, and that's it. How does that show that someone is changing, you know? And that's the whole reason why this shit blew up.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
that's literally the whole reason why this shit blew up. See that the Designful
Dude.
tweet has 154 like quote tweets. Everyone was pissed off that everyone was like co-signing this shit.
Do you think
that's-
if
go
that
ahead,
didn't
Mike.
happen, do you think if maybe Designful didn't come to defend him so hard, and maybe if he didn't like feel so okay with what he did because all his homies were rushing to defend him so quickly, do you think maybe he would have responded more appropriately?
Yes.
Oh yes.
I would hope so. I
Oh
would definitely
yes.
hope so.
I think
Absolutely.
the situation
Okay.
wouldn't have even escalated this far.
Yeah. I agree.
100%.
When-
Because-
when-
because these people, no, these people, like the community in Apex is so top heavy, right? And you see an issue that's happening, you feel it's racist, you feel it's wrong, right? And you want to see how they're responding to it, and you see the other huge creators responding to it in this way. You don't feel safe to come out, right, and talk about it because you feel
That's
like
true.
you may be blacklisted.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
these people hold all the
Because
power
whenever the
in
other
the
big people
community.
are protecting
Yeah.
him, then yeah, you don't want to be the guy that says no.
And do you want to
Yeah.
know the sad thing about it? I was one of those people. I had to sit down, smoke a little bit and collect my nerves because I know after today there are going to be a lot of people who hate me because of the strong opinions I expressed today. And I'm already seeing it in my chat. It's already happening.
So,
I came out
yeah.
and I spoke up and now I'm paying the price for it.
Yeah.
And it's fucking
That's
disgusting.
That was.
It is
Yeah.
sad.
Go ahead, Joe.
No, I was just gonna say it is. I mean, it is sad, but it's just that is just what happens. Is if you use your voice, you always catch flack for it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't use it.
Right.
And I think
Yeah.
that's kind of like where a lot of these issues. Like I'm gonna pull away from just like Touche for just a second. I'm just gonna talk about how it's just the reason why this issue blew up is because of the amount of people that were trying to blow it off or they were trying to downplay it. And then, there are people like who are like, racist jokes have been, even if they're not malicious, they've been accepted in society for this amount of years. It's never been acceptable. I put a tweet out on this. It's never been acceptable. People of color are tired of your shit. That's all it is.
We are
Right.
less tolerable now.
Everyone has a limit. Everyone has a limit. We are all human beings, and that's what it all comes down to. We're all human beings, and we should just treat each other with love and respect. But that's not happening because people see each other differently in society, and it's not anything else. It's just people are tired, and it's just not. It's never been acceptable, but it's just less tolerable nowadays because we feel like the world is changing, right? The gears of the world are changing. Everything's getting a little bit different. And people just want to be accepted for who they are as a human being rather than like the color of their skin or their ethnicity or whatever it is. So like
Yeah, and like it's hard because I'll never understand it. It's crazy to me because I'm not even white, but I look white, right? So I mean I do have Caucasian in me, but it's not my primary race, but I look white enough to never really experience discrimination ever in my life. I don't think I've really been discriminated against ever. I don't know how that feels. And that I don't envy that at all,
Right.
being
Yeah.
being hated just for who you are.
but
Oh,
what you're trying to do putting together this podcast, like that's what we all want, It's like we want people to
Yeah.
be able to want to push themselves to educate themselves or learn a little bit and understand like what is wrong and what is right and feeling like okay, well I can change. Like I don't think anyone's beyond redemption, right? If we're on the topic of Touche, I don't think Touche is beyond redemption. I think anyone can change. I think anyone deserves a second chance, and I feel that way because of my past and my issues and the things that I've dealt with in my life. Like I fully believe that everyone has a chance at redemption. It doesn't matter how long it takes. People always have the opportunity, but it's not up to anyone else but themselves to take that opportunity and change.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would love to piggyback. I would love to piggyback on that for a second. I'm sorry if I'm cutting anybody off. My bad, guys.
No, you're good.
This is beautiful takes from everybody, by the way. Listen, like, I live in the South. Like, and when I say I live in the South, I don't live in a big city in the South. Like, I live in the South, like, for real. I'm 6'8". I'm black.
God
Yeah,
damn, you 6'8"?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
he's
6'8".
big.
I'm 6'8". If
You
didn't
didn't, you didn't see the picture of him next to Noko, bro?
Yeah, I'm a
He
big
made
dude.
Noko look like me.
Noko looks like.
I
Noko
can't wait
looks
to.
like
I can't.
madness
go,
next
Joe.
to like a regular height person.
He's small, bro.
I can't wait to stand next to Diego one day. By the way, I can't
Oh,
wait. Anyway,
yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, but listen, let me like when I say that to say this, I'm a very large individual. I have like a presence when I'm around, right?
No,
But
I'm kidding.
I'm a right. I get a lot of attention, but where I live, where I've grown up for the past 10 years of my life plus, a lot of that attention is negative, right? Being in the deep south, I was a musician, so I didn't play football growing up or basketball growing up, so I got a lot of flack for that. People really disrespected me. People looked at me a certain way. People really believed to me. Like I hate going to the grocery store because I get looked at crazy, like clutch purse type. I smile. I'm a very like smiling, welcoming person. If I smile at somebody, they'll like feel very afraid, kind of thing. My girlfriend is from. I'm not originally from where I went to high school, which is a very, very small rural town in Louisiana. My girlfriend is from there, right? And she grew up there, and she is Caucasian. She's white. And the lack of understanding blew my mind. Well, we met when we were kids, by the way, like we were 16, like you really young. Stuff in like even in the educational system, that was big like gaps in what is the reality of the history of this country and the world and of all time ever wasn't there.
Wait, could you
And-
explain that again?
Yeah. Like so where I went to high school, where I met my
Yeah.
girlfriend,
Yeah.
I learned through her that she didn't learn a lot of the same things
Oh, I
that
see.
everyone else I thought in the planet knew as common sense, right? When it came to the history of the country, why this is this, why that is that, culturally, right? She didn't have a lot of cultural experiences the way that I grew up in northern Georgia in the city area around Atlanta, and then I moved to this very small town, right? So it was a very different situation. She had to learn the hard way that the way that I look matters to other people a lot, especially the way that like we are. She's like, but you're so great. Like what? Like I was like, they don't know that, and they don't care to know that.
Yeah. I'm sorry if this is too personal. Did people give you a lot of shit for like dating a
Absolutely.
white girl?
Absolutely. And it wasn't the black people. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't know if she might get mad at me for this later, but whatever, worth it, because it might help somebody somewhere that feels this way. I wasn't allowed to even date her for the first year that we were together. Like we weren't allowed to be together. Like
From her
it was-
parents?
yeah, it was like stopped,
Damn.
right? Until I was given a chance. Right.
See,
I was
that,
given
like I
was
can't
given a
even
chance.
imagine that, man.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
That's-
and we were in a situation where I was in a town that everybody knew everybody all the time. So no matter what, I was watched. I was very like, and they're like, yeah, he gets good grades. Yeah, he's a band kid, but like still six at the time, like 6'5", still tall black kid. Like, let's be careful. Like, you know what I mean? That was the thing that I had to deal with my entire life, like literally our entire lives, like until we got out of there. But like her family, of course, came around, and I've done a lot of educating. And I know, by the way, a lot of times people say it's not our job to educate. It's not black people's job to educate white people on why they shouldn't hate black people. It's not. I agree with that 100%. It is absolutely not. But I also believe heavily in love and the action of love. And I really believe that if people are willing, and they have to be willing, because there's a difference, right? There's a difference between faking it and genuinely be willing to understand that what you have believed this whole time to be true is not true. What you have believed this whole time to be the reality is not the reality. That love can show on top of this, right? To conquer all this stuff. And that it doesn't matter what I look like and you look like, we can still love each other, right? And I've had to teach a lot of people that, and I've shown it by action, right? I've walked that life. I've lived it. It's my shoes. It's who I am. So I say all this to say, I truly believe, truly believe that people can come to an understanding. The same way that you can learn that ruining your life in one way or another is bad for you, and you can come out of that, right?
Mhm.
How many people? I mean, dude, look around this call right now. Not a single one of us is perfect, Not a single person in this call, in this chat, in this world is perfect. That does not
Nah, I
exist.
fucked up. I
Except
fucked up
you,
before.
Cutie.
Everybody has. Everybody has done something that they're not proud of, ashamed
I actually
of,
got a story for
not-
that whenever you're done talking, Drum.
Right, not okay with. You're not
got a story.
happy with where you come from. I've been on like feels like 10 podcasts with Joe, and Joe has talked about extremely inspirational things that I carry in my heart every day because I'm proud of who he is, and I take that heavily. Right, I'm not gonna talk about it, but if he wants to talk about it, I'm sure he will.
No,
but
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah,
Finish first.
I was just gonna say like, and I love the person that you are, and I don't know if I would have always loved the person that you were before, right?
No, you would have hated me.
Exactly.
You would've hated me,
I
like-
love, and I literally love you like family right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
so
mean-
what's to say that just because, and I say this because this before I continue anything, I'm also a black person who can also get very angry because of the things that I and my family and my people have dealt with forever, right? I've been spit on. I've been called everything. I've been kicked out of places. I've been told I can't be with the person that I love. I've been told that I'm worthless, worth nothing, that I shouldn't be here, that I should be in a man. Name the list. I've been told it. I've been put in a situation. I've held at gunpoint. All these things that you want to know that it's been the movies, bro. I've
Same
been
here.
there. I lived that. You know what I'm saying? I've genuinely lived those things. And when I say, bro, and when I say to everybody is, it doesn't. It's so easy to be caught up in how angry we can be because we've always been so angry. We've always been so angry because what else can you be when you're seen as 3/4 of a person, when you can't be shown love, when you feel like you don't. Do you know how many times I walk around and people look at me like I'm dirt? That's hard to not be angry. That's hard to not react in anger, right? And I hear a lot and I see a lot of people that look like me that are angry, and I'm not mad at you for that. And if anybody gets it, I get it 1,000%. But understand that there's nothing, and I will say this, you could disagree with me and I still love you, it won't change nothing. I say this from the bottom of my heart. There is nothing on the planet, in my opinion, that can beat or change or develop or grow than love. And that is as simple as that. It will beat out the anger. It'll beat out the pain. It'll beat out the suffering that we all have to deal with, bro. And I don't care if you think I'm corny. I don't care if you think I'm whack. I don't care if you think I'm stupid. I mean that from the bottom of my heart because it's the life that I've had to live since day one, since birth. I've seen it. I've been a part of it, and I believe it. And I truly think in this situation, but heck the Daltu situation, I'm talking about all of us that we all have to deal with everything in everyday life, in the gaming industry, in the gaming world, in our streams, in all this stuff forever and ever, and outside of those things, right? In the everyday life that we have to go to the grocery store, go get some food, go be out hanging out with friends, go no matter what it is, bro. If you approach those situations with love in your heart first, even when someone disappoints you and hurts you, even when somebody makes you extremely angry, when you have a level of love in approaching those things, that is what will make a difference. That is what can touch somebody and not shut them down and put them in a position that can make a difference. Will Daltouche come out and apologize and do all this and make all these things that we wish he could do and want to do and want to see? That's for him to decide. But my job is to love everybody regardless of their mistakes, regardless of if they do or don't. I don't have to associate myself with them. I don't have to rock with them. I don't have to rock with you if you did something wrong that I don't agree with and you don't care. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to stop showing love to everything, because that's the only way, in my opinion. I apologize if it's not anybody else's, but in my opinion, it's the only way a difference is made, is genuine love. So sorry for ranting. I know I took up so much time, but I had to say that.
Crusader,
love you
before
guys.
you
Yeah,
before you get to your story, do you mind if I say something?
For
In
it.
regards to the topic right now. One thing I like to do is I like to sit down and think. You know, sometimes I speak with a lot of emotion. You know, I'm sure you guys obviously have been able to tell, but sometimes I say with my heart before I do with my brain. And Drum Bum, you're a wonderful rant. I don't like when you call it a rant. It's we all are here to hear it.
Losing
all right?
it for you right now, bro. Chat is
We love to
loving
hear it.
you.
It's not about me. It's not about me. It's about all of us. It's not about me.
Just saying, you are heard right now, bro.
Thank you.
What you said kind of hit me. Now, in regards to the Daltu situation and whether or not he will change, it's hard for me to think he will, for obvious reasons, you know. And a lot of people are not very happy with the fact that I don't believe he will. But you need to keep in mind the perspective I come from. I'm a Black woman.
Mm.
I'm a Black woman. I'm a dark-skinned Black woman.
Mm.
Okay, so you need to understand where I'm coming from. I've dealt with people like him my entire life. People that don't change. Because this and again, he may or may not be racist, but is he contributing to racism? Yes. So I need to make that clear. I'm not necessarily calling Daltouche racist. I'm calling him someone who contributes to racism because I truly do not know if it's
contributing to the
racism or
status
not.
quo.
It's an important distinction to make, and that's what I made my tweet for, was to tell people that you don't have to go out and call someone a racist. You know, just because somebody's being racially insensitive, if they're doing it on accident, they're not a racist. Racist,
Precisely.
if you're
They're ignorant.
you have intent.
Yeah.
You have intent, right?
Yeah.
You think this person is less than you, or you think you're above them because of your race, right? If you just make a really dumb fucking joke, okay, and you're completely fucking ignorant, and that's what I feel like it was. I feel like it came from a place of complete ignorance for him.
All right, I have to cut you off there, my boy.
Can I
my boy,
finish?
No, not this time, not this time. No, I'm just kidding.
But whether or not, after listening to Drum Bum, if Daltouche were to come out and apologize right now and address everything in the correct manner, and then actually show, initiative to change, I would forgive him. I'm coming from a place of anger. And like I said before, I often speak with my heart before I do my brain because I'm so emotionally invested in this. Because again, you got to keep in mind, everybody, I idolized him. I am a 2-year subscriber to him. You know what I'm saying? So it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
But after, talking with my chat a little bit, calming down, of course, he can change. And
Yeah.
sometimes having hope is, I got to do it, so I hope he can change. I really do. And
Yeah,
if
it's
he
not
shows
good
that
to hold the
initiative,
anger.
and if he shows that initiative, then I will forgive him. I will. But it's not really about me forgiving him. It's just about making things right.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That makes me very happy.
Me too.
So I got a lot of things to piggyback off of, so I just want to say if Joe or Peach wants to say anything before I go.
I was gonna piggyback, like Drum piggybacked off me, and now I'm gonna piggyback off him. It's like a piggyback cycle.
Let's piggyback.
Yeah.
I'll be the piggyback.
I'm just saying I got a lot to say, and
Okay. Let's go, Joe, and then Peach, and then Crusader. You can tell your long ass
grand
story.
plan, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like, obviously, the issues that arise, that arose from social media were directly related with Black people, and I'm not Black. I don't know what it's like to be Black. I don't know what it's like to be in you guys' shoes, but I can understand in some way. I can empathize in some way because I'm Asian. And so, like, just like something I want to talk about is COVID hit and shit hit the fan for me and my family, all my friends. It was terrible, man. And for the most part, like, when things were said or things were done and like they were just disgusting from other people, like people telling me to do certain things, and I don't really want to get into the specifics of it, but like I feel that anger because my whole life, like I grew up around some Asian people, not a lot of Asian people. I was mainly predominantly around other races, and like to fit in, like I used to like make fun of myself or make fun of my race, and then as I got older I realized that wasn't helping anything and it was contributing to the problem. And I feel like piggyback off Drum said, like everyone needs to like have some love and everyone needs to do their part in like in educating people. And I feel like that's also an important part, is like we as people of color need to also do better in a sense. Like anger builds up, people get angry, tempers fly, and that's all understandable. But I feel like if we can all just like come together and just kind of be like, hey, like that's not right, but I can help you with that. Like if you're just trying to spread that message, like that's not okay, but you can rectify that situation and you can change yourself and change your perspective. Because like Drum talked about how his girlfriend is Caucasian, she's white, and he had all this crazy stuff happen with him, and it's very sad situation. I'm in the same situation with my girlfriend. She's white, and she until we started dating, she barely saw any racism. And then as soon as we got together, she said it's the most racism she's ever seen.
Yeah,
When I went to the
absolutely.
grocery store during COVID, it was like water around a rock. It was like a river around a rock. It was people gave me dirty looks. I've had people run up on me and tell me nasty things and try and get into physical altercations with me. My mom, my mom had to go to grocery stores by herself, and she was scared to do that because every time that she's gone, someone has done something to her, you know. And there's a difference between being racist in a malicious way and being racist in an ignorant way, right? So for me, a lot of the stuff that I felt, it felt very malicious. It felt intentional. It felt like that's what people wanted to say, and that's what people wanted to do.
They
you know?
wanted to hurt you.
They
That was
wanted
the
to hurt me,
objective.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
the number one thing I heard during COVID was, why are you in our country and bringing diseases here? Why don't you just go back? Blah blah, all the other stuff, and it's like, bro, like I'm a human being too. I'm just trying to live on this earth the same way that you are, and I really wish that you would see that I have nothing but love and respect for everyone around me, because everyone deserves that chance and everyone deserves that love and respect. And like I just don't get, like, I should be the angry one, and yet I can show that compassion for you. So why can't that be done for me? And it just made me angry, and it made me really, really upset. And like I don't think I've ever seen my girlfriend that upset either when stuff like
Right.
that would happen. It really was truly disgusting. And it's just like, man, I really wish that people could just see that, like, none of us are different from each other. We're all individuals and we're unique. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings trying to live on this earth peacefully and trying to just get through our life. All right. Because life is a bitch for everyone.
Yeah.
For everyone. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. You could be poor, you could be rich. There's always trials for you somewhere. It should not matter. Like, you shouldn't have more trials in your life because of the color of your skin or what you look like. There should be no reason for it, And like, yeah, I've been pretty quiet this podcast, but like now I'm getting to the point where I am angry because you see a lot, like, I feel for everyone that's experienced everything going on Twitter, and especially for Black people. Like, I feel for you guys, and I'm so sorry that you guys feel so angry and you guys feel so emotional, and that things are happening the way they are. And it literally, if everyone could just have like just the smallest bit, like the smallest bit of love in their heart, can make the biggest fucking change in the world, bro.
Absolutely.
It doesn't even need to be. You need to change. You don't need to change who you are. You don't need to change every little aspect of your life. If you could just have a little bit more compassion in your fucking life, it can create the biggest domino effect, bro, in the entire world. Like, I don't think people realize that the smallest change in your character and the smallest change in your actions and your day-to-day things can make such a big impact. And I feel like that's like the whole basis of this conversation is like, people just don't understand, and people aren't willing to take the initiative to actually change their habits or what they've seen. Because let's be honest, not everyone is exposed to racism in their life, right?
It's so
Not
true.
everyone is. And so there's a lot of ignorance, and there is a lot of uneducated people out there. But we have a job to do too. As people of color, we have a job to do too. Is in that situation, we should be trying our best to educate them. And it's not our job. By no means is our fucking job. It is no one's job to educate anyone. However, we have the opportunity to do that, and we have the ability to do that.
Right.
And like, I just, like, for me, it's just crazy because I grew up my whole life experiencing racism, and then my girlfriend has never seen it really until we got together.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it puts it into a different perspective, right? Like, there are some people who know what it is wholeheartedly from the bottom of their heart, and then there are those who just don't really know what it is because they're not exposed to it, or if there are racist things going on around them, they don't really know that it's racist because they're not experiencing it, or they don't really see it for themselves, or they're not actively participating in it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know.
No.
I just wanted to piggyback off that because, like, fuck, bro.
I mean,
absolutely.
it's-
I feel you,
it's-
bro.
it's and I would like to add that it's the reason that I can have a little bit of understanding for these people that are so ignorant is because I've never experienced racism myself, right? I've never really been discriminated against in a way that was obvious to me, at least, right? I don't think I've ever experienced that in my life. So, if I was not an empathetic person, which I very much am, I'm a very empathetic person for other people. If I wasn't empathetic, I might not believe in racism just because it's not something that I've experienced, and
It's easy.
wouldn't I
It's
wouldn't
easy for you not to.
have
Yeah.
I wouldn't have that empathy for other people. I wouldn't be able to understand. And
Yeah.
that's why I can understand from other people's perspectives
Yeah.
why they're so ignorant. That doesn't make it okay in any capacity, but it helps me understand that sometimes these people aren't evil. They're just different and ignorant.
And they can, when you, the definition of ignorance is lack of knowledge, right? It doesn't mean
Mhm.
like bad person. It just means lack
Yeah.
of knowledge. So
Yeah,
It
like,
doesn't even mean like you're a stupid person or anything.
You
It
have
literally
the-
just
you
means
have
you
the-
it's not,
don't
it's not
know.
an insult
Yeah.
to your intelligence. It's
Yeah.
not an insult or anything. It literally is just saying you don't have the knowledge to speak on an issue or a matter, or
Exactly.
you
Right.
don't have the knowledge to really understand the emotions behind a situation, right?
Yes.
So
Peach, would you like to go before Crusader?
Yeah. I have a totally
Okay.
opposite perspective on this.
Okay.
I don't like
That's
when I do not like when the conversations always end up with everyone's ignorant, right? We're
Mhm.
grown.
Not everyone is. Yeah.
you guys
definitely.
have been seeing what's been going on. You guys have been participating in the Black Lives Matter protests. You guys have been doing charity streams. Dautouche has done a charity stream for Black Lives Matter. So he's
That's
also
true.
claimed to be educated. Like I don't
Yeah, that's also true.
that feels like a cop out for me, to be honest.
But I want to add that I don't think any of us were really specifically talking about Daltouche.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about
I'm
Dautouche.
not talking about only Dautouche either.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'm just the conversation in general when it goes down to people just being ignorant, and we should
Uh-huh.
just have this, like, I don't know, baby them, I guess is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
We're
Mhm.
grown, right? You guys have been following the Black creators. You guys followed Ninjala. They did on the ALGS that everyone watches. They've done some like talks about BLM. I don't feel
Mhm.
like ignorance. I feels like a cop out to me, to be honest.
Well,
Ignorance shouldn't. I feel like ignorance on this scale should just not be an excuse. It's just
mhm.
it just isn't. And like Peach said, it's a cop out.
Especially
know?
when you have all these creators, these Black creators coming out with, they're literally telling you why they think these things are unacceptable, right?
Mhm.
And you're fighting against it. All they straight up just fight against it. Their friends like the tweets, they post hearts under the apologies, and that's literally all they do. And then they'll continue to be ignorant. But that's
Yeah, I guess
the main reason why we move to like hold these people accountable is so that other creators can see what they're doing and choose to withdraw their support if they want to, because not everyone is going to change. Not everyone's going to choose to see how they're hurting people and want to change, right?
Mhm.
I'm sure most of them that get put in the situation, they will ignore it. They will apologize once, ignore it, come back in a week, and that's it. Most people won't say anything to them because they're too scared. They have too much clout, right? And everything will be fine and dandy. So the main reason why I speak out is so people like Movana, for example, a 2-year sub, a Black woman, can see what these creators are doing and trying to hide, and they can choose to withdraw their support.
Mhm.
I don't care what happens to this man. I really don't. But I feel like people should, that is part of the accountability, is putting a spotlight on what these people have done that's wrong, and like showing the fans or the supporters, the people who idolize them, what they've done, because they'll try
At
and hide
least
from
letting
it.
them know what's up.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
feel like that should be something that most people should, or not most people should do, but it just feels right to do to me
Mhm.
personally.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
with
Because
that
that's what's
1000%.
supposed to
100%.
happen. That's
Yeah.
that's what
I agree with
that's-
100%.
that's how you
and
be an
his
adult.
friends are pissed because it's because that's what's happening. They would want him to be able to hide from it
Yes.
in every situation that happens,
and
not just
avoid
with that
accountability.
specific creator. Yeah.
yeah, there's a difference between ignorance and avoidance, right? So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's blatant
Absolutely.
avoidance.
But yeah, and
yeah,
I do want to
and
say about everything that I said, it wasn't. I'm by no means making excuses for anybody. Like,
Mhm.
I'm in no means saying that Touche or anybody else who said anything stupid, that if they believe that in their heart, then that's their mistake and their loss. I'm just, when I said all the things about love, is I just truly meant on the grander scheme of things, how we can go from here, and me as a black man can affect other people. But when it comes to what happens to him and those who agree and those who hide and not take accountability, because accountability is also love. Like, if I hurt somebody and I take accountability for that, it's because I'm showing that person love for that accountability. If I'm not taking accountability, there's no love there. It's the same thing. So definitely, by far, in no means necessary am I co-signing or saying it's going to be okay, buddy, because it's not. If you don't do the right things, it's not. It's as simple as that. It is in that situation. It is a yes or no. I'm just saying, as we from this and using this platform and this opportunity, because on one end, it's an opportunity to shine light on something that is extremely important that we have to deal with, as what was said specifically in that circumstance. But I also think it's an ability for us to shine light, to make a difference in the future for other people, as us, as people of color, to make a change, or to make an impact, rather, not a change, but make an impact from this. To me, when Daltouche said what he said, it was a door to bring awareness. Whatever happens to him and the maliciousness that he got to deal with, that's him, right? And if you are on top of that, I applaud you for it. And I love that. But I just think that it's also an opportunity for us to take this stupid thing that somebody said that was stupid, because racism is stupid, not ignorant. Racism is stupid, right?
Yeah.
Somebody who says
racism is stupid. Can I get a racism is stupid in the chat?
Facts. Racism is stupid. Racism is ignorant. Racism is not ignorant, but racism is stupid. So taking racism is stupid, right? He did something stupid because racism is stupid. And I'm going to take this as an opportunity to teach as many people as I possibly can about the fact that racism is stupid, and we can maybe stop it or do something different or show love. Because to me as well, stupidity is also on the same pillar as evil, which is the opposite of love. So I just say that to say, it's by no means am I justifying, am I babying, softening what he did and the consequences that man got to face, because he does. Because I'm telling you right now, I've been in situations where I had to make consequences for somebody who did something stupid for me, right? So by no means am I coddling that. What I meant by showing that love is that we can affect so much more and turn a terrible negative situation into something that can make a difference. That's what I meant by that. Just doubling down, because Peach, I do, and Movana, I do, especially to when it comes to taking responsibility for the actions. I agree with y'all 1,000,000%.
Okay, well, I understand what you're saying about love, and I personally have, I've gone through my fair share of mental health issues. I wasn't a good person, a few years ago, and I've been climbing my way back from that, and I'm doing much better now. So I know people can change, but I just don't think the world's all flowers and roses. Like love isn't going to fix everything. And why should I have to give love to people who didn't, or who refuse to give love to me? So my take on it is this. I will not love him. I will not like him. But I will give him the chance to be forgiven. You don't have to love anyone for it to make any sort of progress. You don't. You don't have to love who you work with. You don't have to love who you're around. You don't. Should you? Probably. So you can have a good time and a good life, maybe. But do you have to love someone who's wronged you? No, you don't. You don't have to love someone to forgive them.
I don't have to. Cutting you off. I just have a question. What do you mean by? Just so I can clarify and understand you and listen. You say, what do you mean when you say love somebody? What do you mean by what do you think of when I say love somebody, or you say love somebody?
What it means to love, to like someone, to show appreciation, just to exactly.
What a better way for drum statement would be compassion rather
instead
than
of love.
Because compassion, you don't need to like someone to give someone compassion, right? You don't need to give a shit about someone to show them compassion.
My whole point is I don't have to give you anything.
No, you definitely don't have
That's
to.
This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't have to give you love. I don't have to give you compassion
Mhm.
for me to forgive you. So I don't think, and I also don't think by inherently giving love and compassion would make just everything magically better, because that's just not the way it works. That's not the way it's never worked that way. There are
Well-
multiple instances. Well, I should say this. Before I already know what you're going to say, but there are multiple instances where showing love has worked. But there are also countless of instances where showing love has done nothing but backfired or not worked at all. And honestly, it's a gray area. But that gray area is kind of just enforcing my point. Let people decide what to do. If you want to if you want to love, if you want to show compassion, if you don't want to love, if you don't want to show compassion, if you don't want to forgive, that's fine. No, you do not have to. You do not have to forgive your abuser. You don't. And that's just not how I just personally don't think that's how it should work.
I respect your opinion 100%, and I hear you. I think this is a learning experience for me as well to hear someone else's perspective that is different from mine. And I definitely 100% respect that, and I could 100% also see where that comes from, for sure.
I
I
appreciate that, Drum. And
But
I
I do love
before,
you. But I do love you, by the way.
Yes, I love you. Okay, I don't want you guys to think like she's just constantly disagreeing. Like, I love you, Drum. Like
I love you.
You're so cute. Okay, I love you. All right, Crusader, Diego,
podcast, not love show.
Drum.
Okay, hold on.
Well, it's gonna be that today because I fucking love you guys. All
I
right.
love you so much, dude.
So I know I'm just constantly disagreeing with, especially you, Diego. But
No, I mean it's fine. That's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Like we don't have to. I mean, if we all disagreed with each other, it'd be kind of lame, you know?
Uh-huh.
No, and it's interesting to
There'd be
me.
no point.
About it.
It's okay
Um,
because especially Diego, like I don't want to put you on the spot, but it is what it is and it's reality. Like especially Diego here, out of all of us, he has to learn. He has to hear what we have to say, and he has to hear
Yeah.
it from many different perspectives. Me, a black man, Drum, a black man,
See,
Joe,
it's hard.
AAPI, and black women. Mind you, black
Exactly.
women, it has it 10 times harder, by the way.
Literally.
Black women have it 10 times harder.
That's
By
the thing.
miles.
It's so hard for me to
Oh,
understand. dude.
man.
It is. I'm coming from a place of ignorance myself. That's why, like,
Yeah.
it wasn't some coincidence that everyone here is a person of color. Okay, this was no coincidence.
But look,
This-
what you're doing is so admirable. You're here, you sat us down and you're ready to fucking learn. And that is initiative. That is what we want.
And
What you're
also
doing right
wild
now,
chat on the same time.
yes. Not
People in
listening to
chat.
their opinions, you know what I'm saying? Like you're admirable. Like this is great, Diego.
People in chat need
Yeah.
to understand that what Diego did putting together this podcast is the epitome, and that's the core fucking issue that we are talking about.
Yep.
That is why we're all here. Okay.
Absolutely.
Him putting together the podcast is the prime example that we're trying to and like the message that we're trying to spread. If
And
you
I think
don't know- yeah.
I think
go
the
ahead.
cool part is like I didn't even really. This wasn't the plan to talk about this, but
Mm.
once I saw like all of you guys reply at the same time, I was like, wait a minute, this is just too perfect. Like,
Perfect
I'm gonna have to
timing.
get all these guys in here, and because on it, and like I said, I mean, I'm coming from a place of ignorance. It's really hard to understand for me. So it's cool. I mean, I really appreciate listening to your guys' stories and everything. It's heartbreaking. Like, fuck, Drum, you almost made me cry, bro. I couldn't imagine.
Again?
Fuck.
Sorry,
I would.
I'm just
I would. I don't even fucking know. Wait. Oh, wait. Yeah. What the fuck? Wait. Hold up. I just now caught that.
Yo, chill.
Oh, fuck, no, Joe.
Love you.
All right,
You
Crusader.
caught me off guard last time.
My bad.
Yeah.
my bad,
Okay.
My bad.
Crusader, you need to go.
Yeah,
Let's get your
please.
story
Alright.
out of here.
I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go for a while. This is gonna be a long one. It's bouncing off.
Okay. Just one more thing. It's not for me. Peach started saying something, but she got cut off. Do you?
Oh, shit.
I mean,
You
I'm
wanna-
used to it at this point, but
Oh,
no, go ahead,
baby.
Crusader. It's fine.
You sure?
No, no.
I mean,
No.
at this point, I forgot. So
Are you sure? But listen, hold on, no, because I spoke to her about this,
I mean, Moana is literally the reason why I was going so hard on Twitter.
baby.
The main reason I have the main
Mhm.
issue I had with this whole thing is the reaction in the community. I don't give a
Mm.
fuck about what happens at L2, to be honest.
Mm.
The inaction from all these streamers that people look up to, all these people who they let have the Stop Asian Hate badges on, the Black Lives Matters badges on, everything. They always find a chance to tweet about issues that are going on. But when something like this happens, you see people in the community are genuinely like upset with a comment that was made, and then the reaction of their bros or whatever, they just completely stay silent, or they stay on the fence. And we notice, I've noticed certain people, I've noticed that they like tweets on both sides, or retweet. I've seen one person retweet Drum Bum's video, right? And also like the tweet that he was talking about. So there's an issue going on here, right? And it's an issue with the Apex community as a whole. And I think it has to do just with how, I don't know, how top heavy it is. I don't know.
A lot of people are
really
scared to tarnish their image as though
Yeah.
speaking out against racial injustice would
That's
somehow,
so
you know,
I
tarnish
don't-
your image.
Yeah.
And
I
another
don't think
thing,
it's that simple is the thing. And I can tell you just from example for me, whenever that happened to Daltouche, and
Mhm.
I wanted to say something publicly, and
Mhm.
it took some convincing from Faith to actually say something publicly. And it wasn't because I didn't want to say anything. It was because I know that I've gone through drama, my own cancellations and everything. And I know that the second I say anything like this that would be even remotely close to cancel culture, it brings me back to a point in my life that I don't want to be in.
Mhm.
So you have to understand that there are some points in people's lives where they really can't, they don't have the emotional capacity to really stand up, you know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
it's a lot. I don't want to just half-ass a post and just say something to say something. If I'm gonna say something,
Those are almost
it's
worse. Those are almost
yeah,
worse.
it's to come out and defend. It's to educate. It's
I
to
hate
talk to
those.
people, and it's a lot to do. It's a lot
Mhm.
to do, and I feel like a lot of people, instead of just half-assing it, they just stay silent because they're afraid they're gonna do it incorrectly. I
Yeah,
can't tell you how
but
many times I had to redo my fucking tweet because something was worded wrong, or
yeah.
they might take this the wrong way, or I might get attacked for this, or people might bring this up. And it caused me so much fucking anxiety to try to
Yeah.
just tweet something. But I did, and I'm so happy that I did, right? And I
Mhm.
feel good about it now. But at the point where I was before making that tweet, I had an insane amount of anxiety about it. And not
Mhm.
everybody is going to be able to get over that. And I don't think that that's inherently makes them a bad person, but
That
I don't know. It's
I
hard.
understand exactly what you're saying, but at the same time, that silence is so loud.
Yeah.
And
The
so
silence is
true.
very, very loud.
That shit actually made me
it-
cry, bro.
silence is
especially
not, listen to me, silence is not neutrality. And that's what a lot of people just do not understand. By remaining silent, you aren't remaining neutral. You just aren't helping the people that need help. You're just sitting by and watching them get kicked while they're down. You're not remaining neutral. You're a part of the problem. And another thing. So you're telling me that a bunch of people can, you know, you can make a twit longer and get, you know, shit trending about ranked, but you can't retweet something simply. And
That's
another thing,
true,
you
yeah.
don't have to make a post to show support. You
That's true.
have dozens of thousands of followers. Retweet it, show it, just put it on your, retweet it. You don't have to make a post. But the
I
fact
feel-
that you can sit there and make, you know, twit longers and put that much energy and to create, and, you know, to save Apex ranked, but you have a bunch of Black content creators in your community getting stomped on, and there's racial injustice happening within the community that you refuse to speak on. And again, neutrality or silence is not neutrality. You just aren't helping anybody by remaining silent.
I can understand that. And I think whenever, before I even made my post, I know Faith told me that I should, that's what she suggested. She's like, if you don't want to make a post, if you're too nervous about it, you should just go retweet some stuff. But I just feel like, that just wouldn't be enough. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Like
I
it's a
almost
cop-out?
I feel
Nothing
like
will
it's a
ever be
cop
enough,
out.
though,
I
Yeah,
feel
you know?
exactly. That's what I feel like. I
But
feel like if
that's
I'm
what-
gonna do something, I want to jump into it with my whole heart. I don't want to just do
100%.
something to do something. And I
Yeah,
feel like
Yes.
that's what I was getting from that, you know?
Yeah, because
But
as
yeah,
an influencer, people are
ahead,
looking
baby.
for your specific like perspective on it. You
Mm.
know, like they want to, like, what does Diego think? Like, oh, like 'cause
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
thinking it in their mind, right? Like they're trying to form their opinion, and you as like large creators have so much influence over these people, right? And like I'm sure many people, I shouldn't name names, but like many people went to certain like maybe Black creators pages and were looking for a perspective on it and didn't find it there. They're like, wait, why don't you
Oh.
care? You know?
Yeah, that would really hurt. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that. Like somebody that you thought would be the one to say
Yeah.
something, and then they
I
just
mean, there's
didn't.
not a lot of us, right? Like the cameras, just like
Yeah.
this, to be honest, there's not a lot. And I mean, dude, I made up. I couldn't type out anything. That's why I made the clip and made the post that I made, because I felt like that was the best way that I could express what I was gonna express. I understand that it's hard, but
Mhm.
doing the right thing should be hard, because if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. You know what I mean?
No, it's true.
So.
That's true. But I think we also have to recognize that it is very hard. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's hard.
100%.
It is.
Yeah,
it
but-
is extremely hard.
It is
dives
very
into
hard.
a different- that dives into a
Especially-
different, like,
especially
realm,
when
though.
I'm a smaller creator, you would say, for like, right? I'm a smaller creator.
Mhm.
It's terrifying going up against this wall, because that's what
Yeah.
it is. Like, it's a
Oh,
wall
man.
of support. It's a wall of these people. Like, I made that post and I got a lot of love, and I got a lot of not love, right? A lot of hate, and like I ended my stream because I was live when I did it, right? And I was like, I'm not in the right headspace, like, because I mean, I'm a person, right? And it doesn't matter if little Timmy with 0 followers, or if the biggest creators in the world are saying something on my post, no matter what it is, if it's enough negativity, it can really like eat at you. So I understand why it's stressful, why it's scary. It was terrifying for me, but I still felt the need that maybe it could have made a difference in
Yeah.
every single thing that
Yeah,
I said.
people on both sides are
Andy.
experiencing that. Like
100%.
I experienced the same thing. I didn't stream that day because of the amount of like
Yeah.
Mhm.
bullshit that
Oh,
was
it was
in
hard.
my mentions, right? But I
Mhm.
knew that I had to say something because I knew people had
Yes.
to know what was going on, and I knew it was right. So you just got to take it.
Yeah.
Period.
And
You
Peach-
just gotta deal with that. Yeah.
And Peach had she's the one who pretty much talked me into actually speaking out about all of this.
Mhm.
I was scared as fuck. I obviously, rightfully so, I was scared. I got a lot of hate for the things that I have said. But one thing that Peach told me is that if every single Black creator had the stance that I originally did to not say anything, then nothing would get done. We got to come together. We got to talk about it. We gotta spread awareness. You know what I'm saying? And because silence doesn't help anybody.
Yeah, silence is complacency, and like
Yes.
I want to like pass this on to Crusader because we're waiting for.
Yeah, I
10
know.
years.
Ever, yeah.
It's been a minute, dude.
His story.
Yeah, I just want to add
I'm-
that like silence is complacency, and if you're complacent with the situation in the world and the state of the world and the way that people treat each other, then you're not helping the cause, but you're actually making it worse. Because if you're complacent with such a fucked up situation, there's no better way to put it, in such a fucked up view of the world and how people view each other. If you're complacent with that and you're content with that, and you want to speak out on it, but you don't speak out on it, or you don't care to speak out on it, you're only adding to that issue. So, that's just it, bro. Like, if you want to make a change, like, just do it. Just like make a change.
All right. Go,
Crusader, go.
Crusader. No one else speak.
Crusader, go. You've been waiting 10 years, man.
All right, just so you guys know, because we're all homies. You guys can call me Crew for short. You guys don't have to.
Okay.
You guys, Crew guys come there. Guys call me Crew. So yeah. I just wanna. I guess I should open this up with what racism is, and at its very basic definition. And what I mean by basic, I'm talking about like Kaioken Goku basic. Like at its most basic definition is the thought that white people is superior and people of color are inferior. That is what racism means at its basic definition. Systemic racism is a power construct where white people benefit off of and continues to oppress marginalized communities and other oppressed groups. Now, with that said, the situation with Daltouche, I'll try not to specifically make it about Daltouche. The situation with Daltouche is a very, very good example of that. I made a video about this on Twitter, if anybody cares to watch it, but the situation with Daltouche is a very good example of that. Why is that? It's because when he said what he said, and he made his very mediocre apology, and people started started saying things like calling black people nays, or started saying we're sensitive, we're soft, and discrediting our traumas. What's happening to Daltouche? He's the one getting support, while we're here just getting shit on and continue to be get called soft and sensitive and dramatic. That's literally an example of racism. Daltouche, a white man, is benefiting off of making jokes about our trauma, and we're supposed to just shut up and listen. Now, I bring that up because I saw a lot of people previously saying things like, okay, so what should have Touche done? What would have been the ultimate thing that he should have gone to and done? And the honest answer to that is, I personally do not know. But I know what he should have done. Like, what he should have done was not discredit what we had to say, and at the very minimum, condemn the behavior that he encouraged from his community. Like Peach said, the issue was the reaction of the Apex community and how they reacted to our emotion towards his words. Their reaction was, we are soft, we're snowflakes, we're dramatic, we're sensitive, and it was scary. It was very scary to see how many people rallied behind Daltouche and was very comfortable with going forward with that mindset. And on top of, like I said, I'm piggybacking off everybody and what they just said, to see the amount of silence from the other Apex community, the other top Apex creators, and the fact that we didn't see anything from any other creators until Wiggs said something, which was a day later in the middle of the night. I think it was about like 12 a.m. Eastern. It was scary. And I know you'll never know what this feels like, but imagine seeing an entire community that you put 2 years of blood, sweat, and tears into just diminish the value of your life as just being sensitive and a snowflake happening right in front of you. And as someone in my position, personally, where I have to keep a professional demeanor in some capacity, because like I said, I work at Team Liquid. I have direct contact with the same people who put together ALGS. They all follow me on Twitter. I have to filter myself, even though all these people are shitting on me. I have to filter myself, even though all these people have all these things to say about me. It was frightening. And to answer what you were saying about what should we do in these situations when you want to stand by your black audience and show that they're safe. Personally, what I need is, I don't need the if I'm gonna do this, I gotta go all in type of attitude. Like, I get it, and I very much appreciate that if you want to do something, you want to give it 110%. I very much appreciate that, but I can speak for so many people when at that point, that is when the bare minimum is actually okay. At that point, when you at least retweet someone, like if you would have retweeted Wig when he made his tweet, that would have been great to hear that, to see that you're retweeting someone that does not condone that behavior and those mindsets. But honestly, to this day, it's only been you, Wig. I think I saw Hollow tweet something, and that is it. And like Peach said, silence is so loud. Silence is so loud.
I didn't realize that it was only. I didn't realize that.
No,
that
it wasn't that many people. It was not that many.
It was not. That was not a lot of people.
A couple people retweeted me, but that's it.
Like,
and
nobody really just went out and said like, "Yo, the N-word's not okay." Like,
no one, not a thing. And the story I wanted to share
did as well.
Stay did as well, yeah.
And I think that's truly the only one I remember.
I think
Dude,
that's why people are so upset, is because it's just not enough.
It's quiet.
I honestly think that a lot of people don't know about that the clip that I saw at first. I think people genuinely, I think 90% of people only know about the joke, and that's why.
Can I say this though? That's got to be enough.
Yeah, true, but still.
And the story that I wanted to share is
Serial said something too. Sorry, my bad. Go, keep going.
Serial is a homie. I
Serial's
love.
for the
I'm gonna
culture.
give a quick shout out to Serial because since I have met Serial, he has actually been very like willing to understand and learn
love Serial.
what I have to say and what POC have been having to say when any situation pops up. Asian lies, black lies, it doesn't matter. He's always been there. So shout out to Serial. That man is talented. That man is handsome. He deserves a lot.
I've
So,
had conversations with
shout
him.
out-
as well.
I like
He was
Shout
in
out to
the-
Serial. Shout out to
Yeah,
Serial.
Syria was in the same like predicament as Diego. It's like go hard. Like I don't know what I can say to like
Yeah.
help people out. That's all he was worried about. What he can say that's right.
So,
Serial's
but the story I wanted to share was that I was in a position before where someone would dig through my Twitter to see if I said something back when I was in like 9th grade to try and cancel me that day. And that happened. I wasn't anything provoked though. It was just literally out of the blue one night where someone decided to go through my tweets when I was in 9th grade. And they found a tweet where I used the word gay in a negative way, where I said like I used the word gay to describe something bad. And when he brought that to the timeline, no one cared. You want to know why? Diego knows this, Peach knows this, but I'm a person who actively condemns that kind of behavior. I'm a person who actively reminds marginalized and oppressed communities that you can be safe around me. You can trust me. I do not condone that. And that is why I say it is so important that you and any large creator, especially large creators who have the amount of influence, such as Wig, Diego, or Daltouche, it is so important to remind your community that you do not condone that. So like when that person decided to bring that tweet back up from when I was in 9th grade, I'm 27 years old, by the way, now. When that person decided to bring that tweet back up, anybody who saw it on the timeline was like, this is from 9th grade. No one gave a fuck because they know who I am as a person now. And that's when it matters. That's when it matters when, like, it's not about who you were in the past. It's about who you are now. I was what, 14 years old? But I constantly remind people that you can be safe around me. I don't condone that. That's not what I'm about. But no one wants to do that. They're uncomfortable because it's not something that they're used to. It is not something that they're used to speaking up about. But you're never going to get used to it if you don't start somewhere. And like I said, Diego, I can't speak for Peach, Movana, Joe, or Drum, but me personally, I'm not asking for you to give your 110% when you're trying to show your support for any people of color. I just need something to know that you are on our side.
On your side. Yeah.
And I need to know that you are not just the minimum reassurance, but
The recognition.
the fact that so many people, like, I watched no Apex streams that day. I watched no Apex streams. I was so scared to go into any chat just to see people talking about like, yeah, there's just sensitive, they're just a bunch of nays,
Or they're clout chasing. They're
which is
clout
happening right
chasing.
now. There are people out there that is calling black people nays. Like that's happening right now, by the way. I was so terrified to go watch any Apex stream just because of the simple fact, just to see how many people rallied behind Touche and that terrible mindset. It was very terrifying. So to answer the question for anybody who may have in chat asking what should have Daltouche done, I don't know, but what he should have done as a next step was not discredit what we had to say, not ignore what black people were saying in terms of the joke he made. He should have made a tweet saying, what
Not
can
just
I
the
do
joke.
now? What can I do from here going forward to make this right? What can I do to show that I don't believe in that? But no, he's continuing to hide, he's continuing to deflect, he's continuing to like not acknowledge anything, and it really sucks. And to piggyback off of Drum and Joe, I also believe no one is beyond redemption. I also believe that people can come back because no one is born racist. You are only taught it by the people you are around and the people you grew up with.
Environment.
But it also comes back to what Joe said. You have to want to do that. And I'm not seeing that from Daltouche. You have to want to change. And I have had several conversations with people who've had history of racism in their language, in their actions.
Man,
But once they came to me and said they are willing to sit down and talk to me and hear what I have to say, and if the conversation went well, as if like how it's going like right now, where they're not speaking over me, they're listening and they understand what I'm saying, that's fine. That's completely fine by me.
Nice dog.
Oh, sorry. Honestly,
I rock with
like-
that crew for real. Crew, I
Whoa.
rock with that 100%, man. I definitely agree with you.
I got scared by my own
I kinda-
fucking lights.
Yeah,
kinda
what's
wanna-
going on over there?
So my Nanalies reacts to any type of alert I get, hosts, subs, bits, and yeah, someone just hosted me, so it does
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah. Joe was about to say something?
Yeah, so like I'm probably gonna catch flag for this, but I don't care because
Thank you,
this is
Danielle. I
something talk
appreciate you.
about
I love
openly all
you.
the time. So like Crusader and Drum just said like it's on the environment, right? And it's up to you to move yourself out of that environment and change yourself. And really, if you want to change, you should be able to actively do that, right? So for me, when I was younger and the environment that I grew around, I used to say the N-word, right? I was around people that made me feel like it was acceptable, and it wasn't, never was. And until I got older, until I was like, I don't know, 20, like 19, 20 years old, I didn't really understand like how bad it was. You know what I mean? Because that's the people I was surrounded by, right?
Mhm.
And like it's very well known to a lot of people. It's very well known to a lot of people. A lot of Asians use the N-word, right? A lot of Asians do. I can't tell you how many Asian people that I've come across in my life that use it just blatantly, like it's no big deal. It is a big deal because it's not for anyone to say, right? And I pulled myself away from that friend group. I
Okay.
pulled myself away from all that.
I'm gonna pause you for a sec.
Oh.
There's a lot of people in chat that I as we've gone through this podcast, I'm just now starting to grasp that literally 90% of people don't understand that Daltouche literally was defending saying the N-word and saying that he says
it's
it
that
off
deep.
stream.
Yes, that deep.
Guys, chat, listen,
you want to see
understand.
how blindly they support him to the point where they're willing to overlook that as though it doesn't exist.
It wasn't the joke, chat. Like it's not the
It's-
joke.
It's not
It's-
the joke.
It is not the joke that
it's the
we are mad
community-
about.
It's the community reaction and the inaction from the community that has sparked up
Yeah.
this whole conversation, right?
Yeah.
And the
That's why we want
video
change.
released of him agreeing,
Yeah.
being just
Yeah.
ignorant as fuck and saying,
And
admitting to saying the N word and just like, do not look over that. And the fact that you all are looking over that is just like, what do
He
you
took
gain
accountability.
from that?
He never took accountability for that.
He never did.
He hasn't said anything about that yet. He apologized for the joke that he made. He has not apologized for that opinion. And honestly, the joke is way less deserving of an apology than that opinion. Because that opinion,
Like I
that
said, I
opinion
wasn't
is
even offended
dangerous.
by the joke.
The
Right.
joke. It
I
was
wasn't even
dumb.
offended by it.
It was a dumb, stupid joke that opened up a can of fucking worms. That's what happened. Is
Yes.
the joke was the origin of a much larger issue going on in the
Exactly.
community, and that's why we're all gathered here
And
talking.
the defense
Mhm.
defense of the community of him in of those statements, because either people saying you're snowflakes for being offended for something old, you're snowflakes for being mad about a joke, you're snowflakes for blah 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 blah. That response, instead of the response of recognizing that this statement, this person that we all thought we were cool with, has now hurt us, it's not coming back the other way.
I'm gonna mute myself really quick. I'm gonna find the clip because apparently I don't know. I don't think I know it. I don't know.
I think I can find it.
I
Hold
kind
on.
of want to like continue so like I don't leave it off in like a weird way.
Oh yeah, go
please.
ahead.
Yeah,
We can
please,
do that.
please,
I will
please,
look.
sorry.
Just go ahead.
I just
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
because what I was talking about, it's like it can be taken a lot of different ways right now.
Link it in the Discord when
but-
you find it, please.
Like I'm guilty of that. You know, I know a lot of people who are guilty of that. I know a lot of people who have failed to educate themselves and better themselves with that kind of situation. You know, and I don't know Tush's character. I don't know really anything about the man, so I'm not gonna speak on if he's putting on a face or if he's actively trying to change, because I don't know, right? Personally, in my own way, I don't know. But I'm just saying that everyone has the chance to, because if someone had met me like 10 years ago, no one would want to be around me, right? I was ignorant. I was just an asshole, right? I was ignorant. I was an addict. I was alcoholic, like everything, like just I was just a shitty person. But there's always a way for you to like redeem yourself and to educate yourself and to really put yourself in a situation to where you are better than you were before. And I feel like that's where all this anger is coming up, is no one is wanting to better, like is wanting to better themselves and come out of the situation with more knowledge. You know?
Most definitely.
And like,
Most definitely.
And that sucks. That sucks for mainly, like, it sucks for all the Black people who are feeling the emotions that they're feeling, and all the creators and the community and everything, because
Oh, I think somebody linked it in my
you
chat.
just want people to be informed.
I
right? You
couldn't
just want
find it,
people to
but
be
the
better.
account got suspended.
It did. That's what
Not
it
surprised.
shows for me. Yeah.
That's
That's
very
suspended.
interesting.
So
Have you guys
Very
noticed
interesting.
how this
The ac-
conversation
wait,
came
the-
like? Go ahead.
The
Sorry.
account that leaked it got
Yeah.
suspended.
Yeah.
Because when I clicked on
Oh.
Crusader's tweet, when I tried to go send it to
Probably got-
someone, it said this account got
could have
suspended.
gotten taken down from like
Oh,
mass reports
yeah.
of like defamation
Yeah, it is.
and stuff like that. So
It is.
Can
It
I?
is,
Well, Peach is about to say something. I really don't want to cut her off. I would
Yeah.
love to hear what you're about to say.
Oh, I was just I wanted to point out how this has come full circle, kind of, because like hearing Diego say that so many people have not heard of that damning clip of that of Datush like defending saying the N-word, right? They haven't heard of it because people like us, I guess back then, enough people didn't like boost that clip up and show others that this dude was doing it,
Yeah,
right?
I'd never seen it before
Okay.
until
I didn't see
Okay.
it.
I got it. I'm gonna play it. It's
Yeah.
a minute and 33 seconds long.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So-
Go ahead. I'll just wait.
I used to say it when I was like in high school as an angsty little teenager. Not the super.
I guess I'll play it from my chat as well.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet.
Can you where is this?
Version of it, yes. Do I regret it? Absolutely. Have I learned from it and completely taken it out of my vocabulary? Absolutely. It's not acceptable to say at all, and I never would, on or off stream. I don't even think saying it at the end with an A at the end of it. I don't even think it's bad. And then it, like a white person can't say that because it's not allowed, even though there's no racial intent behind it. And I personally have had nothing to do with slavery or oppressive laws or racial injustices in the legal system. But what do I know? What do I know? It's all my fault because I'm white. It's all my fault. I'm white. I cannot ever. Poor confused boy. I'm actually very educated on the subject. 100% educated on the subject, and everything I just said was entirely true, and you cannot debate it with me. I don't give a fuck. In the game, the hottest in the game. Apparently, if I said that, I'd just be so racist. I do be doing it off stream, bro. Of course. It's not acceptable to say at all, and I never would, on or off stream. I do be doing it off stream, bro. Of course. That's what I'm saying. I can't say it, bro. And it's just like I have to just stupid. Dumb.
I'm unmuted, by the way. I think the creepiest part is the part where he's like, he's just like, "Ooh, I just want to say it. Ooh. It's like, I think that was the creepiest part about it. Stuff. Not hear anything.
Okay. So, wait. Have you? Hold on. I need to send it to you guys.
no,
Give me a
I
sec.
mean, I've seen it before. I don't need it.
Yeah.
There you guys go.
I'm not really.
Oh wait, I need to turn it down. Sorry. Okay, everyone's ears in my chat all broken, all broken ears in my chat. But that video was very quiet for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, that's the clip that I saw. So that's what I've been kind of reacting to. You know what I mean? That's what I feel strongly about. The joke itself was really stupid, but that's easily forgivable, I think, right?
In comparison,
In
So
comparison to the other stuff,
here's how I feel about it. It's just it became an issue because once again it's the pattern. It's just not a good look that is what resurfaced after you're kind of deflecting from a being held accountable for a racially insensitive joke that you made, and then on top of that people found another account of you just making the most disgusting comments about black people, like it from 2013. That's like
People are saying that he was
Can I-
talking
can
about
I-
music lyrics.
can I I'm so sorry, but can I please just want, like, I'm seeing people say the music lyrics thing, and then people are
Doesn't
asking,
matter.
was he drunk?
Why does it
Those are
matter?
the two things I'm seeing right now. Okay,
Uh-huh.
listen to what I'm about to say. And I have a degree in education. I was a teacher for a little bit. I use metaphors and like relate things to things constantly. And I want you to hear what I'm about to ask you. Okay. And if you think this is too far to whatever, not TOS, by the way. Don't worry, Diego. If you think this is too far or it doesn't relate, then I'm sorry. But just listen to what I have to say. If a drunk person physically harmed somebody that you care about a lot, would you care or use that as an excuse for the actions being done? And when I say physically harm, take that as you will, right? If you can, and you can say, oh, it's just a word, it's just words, it's not the same as. If you think that way, you've never been called the N-word and spit in your face and demeaned and been told that you're nothing. You just never experienced that. And I'm, as somebody who has, I'm telling you, I've lost family, I've lost friends to being demeaned to that level by those words. And it hurts in a, like, imagine having to be punished for existing and you're simply just existing. I didn't do anything. None of my people did anything. None of these people did anything. Does it make a difference if he was drunk or if anyone is drunk for harming somebody? There's no excuse. If you're talking about the song lyrics, that what does that make it better? That changes anything? It doesn't. People are still hurt, and it is that deep. So if you make an excuse and ask the question, was he drunk? Or is anybody drunk who says anything like that? Oh, he was just drunk?
Okay,
Then
what
I hope better for you, for sure.
people were also saying that that clip was maybe out of context because he was talking about singing along to song lyrics.
What
It doesn't
difference does
matter.
that make?
what
That
difference
makes
does
no
that make?
difference.
Okay.
There's no difference.
Zero
Yeah,
difference.
Yeah, I don't.
Drum-
I mean,
Drum
I don't
just-
do that, but I don't know what the general consensus is with that. Like, I
Drum
don't know.
just talked about it. It doesn't matter if it's song
Yeah.
lyrics or not.
Doesn't matter.
You
Also, it
just
doesn't
don't
matter-
say it.
It doesn't matter if the guy was drunk or not, because the fact of the matter is this man got on his platform to thousands of people and spewed this bullshit that people are gonna hold with him. Touche says it's okay, so I'm gonna. It's fine then, right? Drunk or not, you used your influence for that, and that's wrong.
Facts.
Period.
Absolute
And
facts.
that's
And the only
that
thing
is the
being
problem
drunk-
where
Here,
Go ahead,
I
go
just
ahead.
want to say this one little sentence. The only thing that being drunk does, it takes away your boundaries. It doesn't change what you already think or what you already believe. It just makes it to where there's nothing stopping you from expressing those beliefs and whatever the fuck you want to.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
that was something that he doesn't like truly believe, right? You think he'd see that clip and people calling him out for it and would say, "Yo, wait, hold on, that's not right." Like, I just
Right.
told this to thousands of people. No, that's not what I believe at all. You know, you think the person would if they like felt in their heart, right, that that was the wrong thing to say to their community that they're influencing, they would come out and correct it, right? But he didn't, and that's the fucking issue here.
Instead, he removed all the sponsors from his bio. But yeah.
So, and that's the problem where going back to where when people are being canceled, a lot of people see it as a campaign to specifically take away their career, and that's not the goal. The goal is to make sure that they don't use their platform in that manner again. But like I said, when you don't want to be held accountable for that, when you don't want to hear what we would have to say, so you don't make that mistake again, that's a problem. So you don't deserve that. And because he's not using his platform to remind people that, like, hey, this is wrong, that's a problem. And excuse me, the problem is that a lot of people also believe that because there's thousands of people watching these streamers, not just Touche, because it's the same song and dance every single time. Anytime a streamer fucks up, it's the same song and dance. They come out, they fuck up, they make a half-ass apology, they don't want to be held accountable when people tell them they need to do better, and they just hide. They just run, hide, and duck and cover and hide their tail between their legs. It's the same song and dance. That's the part where we have an issue, where if you're not going to tell your community where, and you absolutely do have control over your community, doesn't matter how big you are. And I like to say that Dr. Lupo is a very good example of that. We all know Lupo. Lupo doesn't tolerate any of that stuff in his nonsense. I watch him pretty often, and I don't see any of that bullshit in his chat. But here we have the entirety of the Apex community rallying behind his defense. And once again, it's not about the joke. It's about the reaction and the lack of action from the community. Instead of understanding why we were hurt, y'all decided to protect a streamer who had no understanding of why we were hurt in the first place.
Really, they're protecting themselves. Let's be real here. I think most people are just staying silent because they're scared, like I've said it a few times.
So
I don't know,
giving them the benefit of the doubt, though,
Okay,
giving them the benefit of the doubt, if what Diego said is the case, I am opening my DM so y'all can talk to me. And if y'all need to figure out how y'all can word what y'all need to say to show that you are on our side. And once again, me personally, I'm not speaking for anybody else, not Peach, not Movana, but I am not asking for a Disneyland spectacular performance. I just want the bare minimum to know that I can be safe around you, so that I know that I can still consider you a friend.
I agree with that 100%. I've had two of those conversations of people reaching out to me and saying, listen, like, I don't want to screw this up. What can I do? And I've had those conversations. Or someone who has screwed up royally, might I add, screwed up, came to me and said, I messed up. Like, and you seem like somebody who understands. I would love to listen. And that, to me, is the response I think that everyone should have that's too scared to say anything. Go to the people that you know aren't too scared and figure out what it is that you need to do, in my opinion.
Peach, continue on with your thought.
I already forgot. It's okay. I already done.
I'm sorry, Peach. I'm sorry, Peach.
I kind of want so I saw something in chat earlier that like really kind of irked me. They said this talk about racism is getting old.
How is
And I
Racism is getting old, bro.
Oh yeah.
Racism is over.
Imagine how we feel.
He just ended racism, guys. It's over.
Imagine.
Hey, we solved racism, boys. Woo!
I saw that shit, and I like let me just spill something out for you guys. Racism exists. Racism is here. People of color experience it every single day of their fucking life. It doesn't get old for us. It might be old for you because you don't want to hear about it, or you don't want to do anything about it, or you're complacent with the situation and you're content with everything going on in your life, but it's not getting old for us. Never will be. It'll never get old.
Janie brought up good point. She said, "A big reason why I didn't tweet out at first is because I'm not black. I didn't think it was my place to voice something that wasn't targeted at me." And um I feel like that sentiment kind of went around for a bit there, especially with the Black Lives Matter protests. I remember there was kind of like this stigma where it was more like people wanted you to be educated but not speak for them, I think is what you're talking about there. If do you guys understand what I'm talking about? Like especially
Yeah.
with the protests
Yeah.
that they were going out,
I-
they wanted the people that weren't people of color to shut up, get educated.
In the
you know,
most
support us,
simplest
but
in the most simplest sense that we're asking for, we're asking don't come up to us and be like, well, actually, don't do that. Don't do that to us. All we need is to know y'all have our back. That's all we need to know. And it's the same thing. Like, we just need y'all to have that same energy whenever Respawn releases a badge, like a Black Lives Matter badge, LGBTQ badge, or Stop Asian Hate badge. We need y'all to keep that same energy when it actually matters, when we are actually getting attacked and when we actually need y'all help.
Yeah. When those other big streamers are not even just the other big streamers, just when people are like making those tweets that like, what is the word for it? That like the Designful tweet, right? I'm just gonna say his name. I don't give a fuck. Like his tweet, for example. When people make tweets like that, like it's up to like you expect your friends to come out and be like, "Yo, what are you doing, bro?" Like, you know, like why are you like? Did you not read what they're saying? Like you're just minimizing it or whatever. Like you expect like that is where I expect people to come out and be like, "Yo, what are you know?" Because that's like the most painful shit, right?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I also want to like why the like 2/3 of the G2 roster hurt me specifically, because once again I am in a position where I have to keep a professional demeanor, and if you all don't know, a lot of black frustrations are seen as like, I don't even have to explain it, like y'all seen the reaction, like people just think we're just being sensitive and problematic. And for me personally, to seeing that 2/3 of the G2 roster just say those things without punishment, but I have to filter myself. I can't say how I truly feel because I have to keep a professional demeanor because people from EA, people from Respawn follow me. Like it was maddening. It was I actually wanted to cry. Like I felt like I genuinely just had to sit here and just take it. Like I have to work in a racist industry. Like
Yes.
I felt like I just have to sit here and take it.
And it's forgive me, it's an inequality and and of itself. I'm so sorry. Fuck, what was I gonna say? I'm sorry, I sometimes I forget words and I get caught up. Someone can go in front of me. I'll remember in a second. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's completely okay. This is a hard thing to talk about.
I'm seeing these comments again, so I also want to bring up, I don't think anybody is outright calling Deltouche racist, and I want to make the point once again, and I reiterated this in my tweet, and I'm going to say it again, is that you can contribute to racism without being racist. You can contribute to racism on accident. You can contribute to racism from a place of ignorance. That doesn't mean that you're a racist just because you said something racist, okay? So if you're gonna put words in my mouth saying I'm calling somebody a racist, I don't do that. Okay, but
And
yeah.
I remember, and I'm sorry, guys.
And I would implore anyone to watch your words. I don't know if anybody in here has called them a racist or not, but I wouldn't do that.
To add on to what Crusader was saying, we are the ones that are supposed to give our love and our support and our compassion when that isn't being given to us. And then when we speak out, we're the ones who are labeled as wrong instantly. We are the ones who are labeled as snowflakes. We're the ones who are like we cannot talk about our inequalities and the injustice in any community without a rebuttal being made almost instantly. Okay. And to touch onto that a little bit, like I said, you already know I'm a Black woman. Before this, I was extremely nervous to say anything because of the hate that I would get. You know, I was extremely nervous to say anything extremely nervous to post anything on Twitter because of the hate that I would receive. But do you want to know something? No matter what I say, I'm only ever going to be perceived as the angry black woman. Always. That's how I'm being perceived as right now. Through I see the chats, you know, I'm not daft. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be oblivious. I right now am the angry black woman. That's what I am. And that's yet another issue in this community. People would rather come at me and attack me for my opinions and attack me for the way I look or the way I talk or the way I do this and that before actually showing me, you know, just there's a difference between coming in my chat and asking a question and stating your differing opinion and calling me names, calling me all types of bitches, and just being blatantly disrespectful. And it just sucks how it's not even just a community issue, it's a world issue. None of my opinions are valid because I'm just an angry black woman. And that is the unfortunate reality of the situation.
Yeah, it's almost like even them treating you that way can contribute to your anger, so it's like a never-ending cycle, right?
Yeah, it is. And I'm sure Peach feels the same exact fucking way. She's just quiet.
No.
It's hard. Like I'm actually kind of getting a little emotional right now because like when Movana just said like, yeah, like people see her as the angry black woman. Like I literally like 30 seconds ago had to add another mod to my chat just to handle the chat.
Yeah,
And,
all my mods
like,
are working overtime right now. All
like,
of
Shout
them.
out the mods.
It's
Huge shout out to
this
mods.
is like that. Like this is all we mean, man. Like we just like
Yeah, and people are missing
missing the
fucking
point,
right now.
man.
People are missing the fucking point. No one's here to cancel Touche. I don't give a fuck about
Yeah.
Touche. I don't know Touche. I don't care what happens to him. I honestly hope that he comes out of it in a good light and he educates himself. I don't
Same.
care. We're here to talk
100%.
about
Of
we're here to
course.
talk about the issue, and the issue is racism. And that issue was brought up because of the fucking community, for whatever reason, trying to excuse racist behavior. That's the whole point of this conversation. It's not for Touche. Everyone who's here saying you guys are trying to cancel Touche, this is cancel culture, you know, at its finest, blah blah blah. I for one do not care what happens with him. I hope he comes out of it on top. But if he doesn't, you know,
he brought it on himself.
He did it too. He brought it upon himself.
Yeah, one man's
We're here
consequences
to
is his.
educate and give you guys experiences and give you guys insight so that you guys can better yourselves and educate yourselves on the issues that people of color face every single day. And therefore you guys can contribute to the solution rather than be a part of the problem and coexisting with the problem.
Beautifully
it's so-
said. Beautifully
It's
said.
so silly because people think that they don't understand why you're upset, right? But instead of trying to understand why you're upset, they just disregard your feelings.
Exactly.
Like
It's
That's the
it
problem.
it doesn't make any sense. If you don't understand why someone is upset, you should probably ask them and listen.
it makes me so mad because like this whole time I've been like trying to be very constructive and like try and stay calm, but like I'm at a point where I'm reading some comments where it's actually disgusting. Like I know that we're talking about what's going on Apex Twitter, but like because I'm not a black person, I'm not a black creator, I don't know what you guys are feeling to an extent. I can only talk about the experiences that I've had. Like I said recently, like we talked about earlier, recently with COVID, bro, I've been fucking spit on. I've had people fucking rush up to me and say nasty things in my face, get in my face, spit in my face. I've had my mom spit on. Like I'm at that point where it's so fucking heartbreaking, man, that people don't understand the point that we just want to fucking be a normal fucking person without being
just want to
judged.
exist.
We just want to exist the same as everyone else does without the color of our skin or the way that we look defining how people treat us.
And
That is the point of the conversation. And I think people are missing that.
And the thing is,
Yep.
we're doing this for y'all. Like black folk, especially black folk, people of color, we're tired, bro. We don't owe y'all this conversation. We don't owe y'all this explanation. We could have easily just said no to Diego and just went about our business and then just cut off all this because no one wants to speak up, because no one wants to help us, no one wants to be on our side. We're actually doing it for y'all because yeah, at the end of the day, I still love Apex. And I still love Apex community. And I'm here. I can't count how many times so many people, every time that there's some racist incident on Twitter or on media in general, there was some racially targeted like crime or something that happens. People always hit me up in my DMs. I'm seeing my DMs requests saying, yo, do you want to be on my podcast, talk about racism in gaming? I'm like, no, dude, I'm tired of talking about that. And that's the only time people want to talk to me. People want to communicate with me. People want to actually, like, you know, get to know me. It's only when it's something like that has to do with racism in gaming, or racism about black people or black people's traumas. Like, man, we're doing this for y'all, so we don't have to go through this in the future, man. We're tired, bro. We don't owe you this shit.
I think I want to clarify. I see that a lot of people are taking it in the way with what I said, that it's directed towards white people, and it's not. It's directed towards people. It's directed towards human beings. Anyone can be racist. I have had all manner of racists say racist things to me. It's all about being better people collectively as the human race, just being better people collectively as a society in order to have everyone's quality of life improve. That's all it is.
See, this is the issue. People are just putting words in your mouth, right? We have not said white people, blah, blah, blah. No, we have not mentioned.
I don't even think that's even been a word said today.
It hasn't been said
I think the only
No,
time.
they're mad at,
No.
they're mad at
There's
me.
one time.
They're mad at me. They're mad at me. I see it in my chat. They're mad at me. Like, whoa, what? Crusader only saying white people could be racist. Like, but y'all are the. It doesn't matter how y'all feel about it. Y'all are the ones that benefit the most out of racism and systemic racism. Like, that's the truth.
Let me bounce off of that a little bit just for a second. The thing about the term racism comes from oppression, right? Oppressiveness. So racism in itself is systematic, but bigotry, or I'm losing the other word. If anybody can tell me another word for it. Discrimination, yes, as well. It starts with a P. But anyway, you know what I mean.
Prejudice.
Thank you so much. It's been a very long day. Sorry. Prejudice and bigotry are abundantly prominent and possible by all people on the planet. When it comes to systemically within this country, I can't speak of outside because this is of my understanding of things, right? Outside of this country, because this is where I'm from and what I deal with. Racism is in a form of oppression, in meaning statistically speaking. You can look it up yourself. You don't have to. I'm not going to go by numbers exactly, but you can look it up yourself. A person of my qualification and me as qualification for a job, and a person that is the exact same qualification as myself or lesser, that looks a certain way, if you want to say whiter than me, a white person in this country is more likely, statistically speaking, to get hired for that job, even if we are literally mirror images of each other. When it comes to I'm losing words, but qualifications. Thank you so much. Qualifications for those things, right? If we're both equal, when I say that, I speak that statistically, but I also speak that out of personal experience. I live in a southern state that the majority of the professional jobs are white people, and I was a teacher, and I was denied in many situations where I was all in all had better recommendations, better schooling. I mean, everything you want to go through for a position, and I was denied that position, and it didn't make sense on paper in any way, shape, or form. When I had a great interview, when everything went beautifully, when the person I know for a fact told me that themselves said, I don't understand why I got the job and you didn't because you're more qualified, but they got the job. That is when people say, when Crew is saying something like, racism can only be done by white people. In this country, systemic racism is based on oppressive activities and not on prejudice. Now, if a black person comes up to Joe and says something insane, absolutely stupid, because #racism is stupid, you don't you understand that is prejudice and bigotry, which is evil, which is wrong, which is terrible. Okay, that is just as that's the same issue that we're talking about. But when Crew says white people can only be racist, that is about oppressive activity that is systemic, that may not be your doing, but it is on the lay of the land of the country that we live in. That is
And
Trump
white
explaining.
people are not oppressed in any capacity.
in this country for sure. Absolutely not.
White people are not oppressed in any shape or form. You can cry about it all you want,
But I still
but
love
you're
you.
not oppressed.
But you're not oppressed.
You're not oppressed. We do not have the same access to life and liberty like you do. Thank you, Drum.
think-
Appreciate that.
Love you. Because
I think we might have to throw the chat in sub only.
that's cool.
think
It's
we-
looking like
might-
it, honestly, man.
I think we might have to do it. I
And
don't know.
If anybody has a problem with anything that I've said personally, I would love to. If you're not an imbecile, I would love to have a conversation. That's it.
Yeah, of
I would
course.
love to
I
have a
mean,
conversation.
I
Of
mean,
course. Hey, if
to be
you
honest-
disagree with any of these lovely people, if you disagree with them, go have a cordial conversation with them.
You can come to
okay?
my chat and you can put your tears in here. That's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm sorry, but that's all I'll tell you. It's
I don't know, man.
I-
I just don't think people understand the difference. You know, like
They don't want to
between-
understand.
It's either they don't or they don't want to. A lot
Yeah.
of people turn a blind eye. You know what I mean? It's not happening to them, so they turn a blind eye. That's something that's
Yeah.
always been prominent in anyone's life in any situation, but especially with a situation as heavy as this, it's definitely something that a lot of people turn a blind eye to, and they think that if we talked about it earlier, they think that if they don't have anything good to say or they don't know what to say, turning a blind eye is okay because it's not contributing to the negativity of it, but it's also not contributing to the solution.
1,000%. 1,000%. I just want to say too, I've talked a lot, and I usually try not to talk too much on podcasts and stuff like this. But I just
No,
will say
I've been enjoying listening to you speak.
I appreciate that.
nice.
Thank
remember
you
when
again
Diego
for
said we
having
only
me.
be here for an hour?
Hey, how long has it
later,
been?
bro.
It's
3
been
hours
almost 3
later.
hours, bro.
That's exactly the thing, though, right? When I brought up that someone said this talk about racism is getting old, it's never gonna get old. It's never gonna
Facts.
go away.
Yeah,
And so some people are saying that if we stop talking about it, the issue will go away. That's not a
No.
solution. That
That's-
is avoidance. That is forgetting.
Um,
That is trying to get rid of an issue that exists by simply forgetting about it. That doesn't solve anything. You know?
Oh, for sure. What I was gonna say is, I just want to take the time as something I also think that's very important along these lines, is to thank Picho Movana specifically. And I say this as much as I possibly can. I will never, ever, ever understand what it's like to be a woman in this world, a black woman at that. I was raised by a very powerful black woman that has taught me a lot of things. And I truly want to say, for you to be in this space so marginalized, gaming is gotta be the scariest, like one of the most scary places to be as a woman, and to put yourself out there, to consistently speak out, to consistently be honest, real, true people. I can't put in words enough how much I appreciate you. And that goes for all the women in this space, but especially outspoken black women that are willing to say what needs to be said, regardless of what the hate and the backlash that you're gonna get. Because no matter what you do, it ain't good enough, right? No matter what you do, it's always, oh, she's just this or that, or emotional or da da da, and all these stupid things that people say. I cannot emphasize enough how thankful I am that you are who you are and that you do this. And please, for the love of everything beautiful on this planet, never leave. And because y'all are paving the way for like my daughters and the homies' daughters and everybody else,
Yeah.
and to see that you guys can do this, bro, that y'all can do anything, bro. And I know I'm just
You're gonna make me
I'm
cry.
I'm not mansplaining. I'm not saying as a guy that I know, because I don't know,
Nah,
bro.
we gotta
I'm saying
protect
for
our
a
women,
fact-
bro.
I gotta
Straight
say
up.
for a fact that I don't.
We gotta
know, and
protect
I
our
will
women.
Never, ever, 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 ever have a crumb of idea what it's like to be a woman in this space and in any space on the planet. So from me to you, I appreciate you and thank you very much.
Yeah, I
A
don't.
lot.
I do
Oh
not.
my
I
God,
do
so-
not envy being a
appreciate
woman in
that.
this space at all. It's honestly disgusting. Some of the stuff that I have to see Faith go through, my sister go through. It's disgusting, man. It's honestly disgusting, and it makes that's what makes me angry. I fucking can't stand it, bro. I can't
don't-
stand that shit.
I don't follow Faith on Twitter yet, but I do want to say she was one of the first people to amplify my
One of the
voice. She was
first
one of the first
people.
people to
Yes.
retweet one of my
Mine too.
tweets. And
Yes.
so shout out to Faith. Thank you. Appreciate that. I think 3 hours is a long time though, ladies and gentlemen. I need to get something to eat, but in conclude, I think we could go around, just say conclusive stuff and just call it a night. I see a lot of people on Twitter all tagging us now, saying like, yo, check out Diego's stream. We're all there doing some good stuff over there.
Mhm.
All I gotta say is just in conclusion, when people are trying to hold someone accountable, there's no such thing as cancel culture. We want people to do better. Cancel culture is not a campaign to intentionally take someone's career away. And on the flip side of that, we need y'all to keep this energy. We need y'all to keep this energy anytime we have an issue like this again, and especially in the Apex community. And if y'all have a hard time forming the words, I actually want to ask Movana and Peach, what would it take for you guys, like for what Diego said? Like, it's hard to find the words to speak out about this because he doesn't want to half-ass it. What would it take for you to know that they are on our side? Like I said, all I need is the bare minimum, like a retweet from anybody who condemned Daltush's actions and what he said in those clips. That's all I need.
For example, like nice. I'm not gonna blast too much of his business. I had little to no prior interaction with Nicewig before this instance. Nicewig took time out of his day to come to me and ask me to educate him on the situation to talk to me about the situation.
Me too.
That is a fucking man.
Beautiful.
Nicewig is one of the best people I've ever met in this community, and I nearly cried reading his messages because he empathized with me as a cis white man that I haven't spoken to ever before. He came to me as a complete stranger and made me feel safe. I told him that as a white man, knowing that as a black woman, I'm going to get a lot of fucking hate for saying the things I'm saying now, but knowing that I have someone like him willing to back me up, willing to, be there and be an actual ally, it makes me feel safe. Like I don't know. I just think that is something that should be admirable. But if you're one of those people who feel as though you don't know quite what to say because you cannot empathize, you do not understand what it's like to be a black woman, a black man, or just a black person in general in the situation, a simple retweet. Just give us a platform. Give us the platform we don't have. Amplify our voices. And you can do that by retweeting. You can do that by liking. You can do that by sending a DM to us and letting us know that you stand by us, making us feel safer in this community. All things that are very, very minuscule, something that would take you 2 seconds to do to make sure that we, as Black people, have better lives, that we have a better time in this community. So we are no longer judged for the exist.
Is my ISP? Oh, I thought it was my ISP just being asked.
Cut out there for a sec.
What the fuck?
No.
Okay.
You're good. You're good. Though. We're back.
Yeah.
What was the last thing you heard?
No.
We pretty much heard everything though. Like half a second. We pretty much heard majority of everything, but like half a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 2 seconds, like, retweet. Give us that platform that we don't already have. You know what I'm saying? Amplify our voices. Reach out to Black content creators. Check on them. Check on your Black content creators. Ask them if they are okay, because you have no idea how much that means to us. The amount of content creators and just people that I would not have expected reached out to me and asked me if I was on the phone with my girlfriend, and I was like, dude, these people that I've never spoken to before really stand by me. I have content creators who have told me straight up that they will literally stand by me through the backlash, and not really by me, but by us, by the Black community. And that is admirable. You know, it makes me feel safe again, and you have no idea. And I know I'm being very redundant by referencing safeness, but as
It's not redundant.
someone who doesn't feel safe most of the time in many spaces I'm in, that small instance, like that just small little beacon of hope, seeing that allyship, it just feels so fucking good, and it helps so much. And it's the simple shit you can give me, and you can help Black people by just liking, by just retweeting, and that's all. Or you can make a statement if that's what you're comfortable with.
I always had it in my head that like that would never be enough. In my head, the way I would think about it would be like, if I were to go DM Crusader and make sure he's okay and then not tweet, I feel like I would be doing a disservice to the other people. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
That,
I
and
understand.
I'm not saying that even makes sense, because now that I'm thinking about it, it really doesn't.
No, 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 no. It does.
Any amount of good that you can do, you should do, right? Even if it's a little.
If you have a
So
voice, use it, please.
Especially if you have a platform like
If you have
we
a
do.
platform, please use it. If
Especially.
you have a voice, use it.
That's why I'm here. I have somewhat of a platform, and I have a shit ton of little Black girls who look to me. You know what I'm saying? Not even just little Black. Like, I just have people who are all types of minorities, gay, trans, Black, Hispanic. With the little platform I have, they look to me to be that beacon of hope. You know, they look to me and people like me, Drum, Joe, Crusader, Peach, to show them that even though everything and everyone is against us, we can still climb our way to the fucking top. And we are making sure that everyone smaller than us, or everyone younger than us, is going to have an easier way than we did. And that's why I'm here, really.
yeah, that's a really good legacy to live your life with as well.
See, I don't think of it that positively because I didn't have the same experience of people hitting me up and offering supports, backing you, big creators like Nice Wig and such. No one hit me up, right? So that's why. Yesterday I was literally almost out the door, right? Thinking of different games to play because I'm sick of feeling like this way in this community because I didn't get that same support, right? So I don't take that.
Yeah.
If how
Yeah,
you will. I'm not feeling good about the situation right now at all. When it comes to staying in the Apex community and how it feels like being a Black person, a Black woman in the Apex community, it does not feel good at the moment.
Oh, it's hard. You guys know Ninjala is like my, other half,
Yep.
The amount of shit that I'm not gonna, I'm gonna allow that stuff to stay away. The amount of shit that she has gone through as a Black woman is disgusting. I cried when her and I had a very long conversation. Ninjala is someone that I look up to. You know what I'm saying? Because she has gone through so much that honestly, I can't even imagine. She is so strong. And it's honestly like because of her, one of the reasons that I keep going, that I'm here right now, that I have, the strength to look past all the hate and look past all the trolls and still be a voice for the Black community. Ninjala is an amazing idol, and that's, another creator that deserves a huge shout out.
So
Agreed.
So Peach, just to ask again, as someone, even with that experience, is there anything that you could ask people like Diego what he can do to show their support? Because me and Movana explained, we're not asking for a lot. We just want the bare minimum.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not asking for anything because my focus, like from the beginning, my focus has been on not like getting shit from like the creators getting DMs or whatever. I've been focused on my people and making sure people are doing right by them. So I'm focused on like helping Movana stay right. Like I said before, I talked to her when this shit started. That was the person I talked to, and that's the person that kept me like standing strong. Because the things that she was telling me, her feeling fear, right? That's not right to me. So it feels like I have to stand up for these people, right? And that's all I care about. I don't really care about getting. At this point, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. I'm kind of like.
No, I understand what you're saying.
We're tired. We're tired.
Yeah, we've been at it for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, like black people, Diego. We are tired. Like we go through. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah, you're good. I like Pete.
I thought you were saying like she's getting confused.
He was like,
because
yeah,
she's
you know,
tired.
it's been
No,
3
I mean,
hours.
like,
You know what I'm
it's-
saying?
I kind of want to throw something in because I know we're getting to like closing remarks and stuff. but,
Yeah.
like, obviously, you know, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be on this because the issues that have come up and the reason why we're having a discussion don't relate to me, like racially. Like it doesn't relate to me as far as I'm not black. However, I can empathize with you guys because I'm Asian. I've dealt with a lot of that stuff that you guys have dealt with, but not specifically empathize with you guys, right? I can generally empathize your situations and the way that you guys feel, but I will never know what it's like to be in your shoes. And I want to say you guys are all brave for using your platforms and using your voice. And I just know that there are a lot of people that have your back, and people need to do better. There's more people that need to do better than the people that have your back. That sucks.
And I think
But
I think a lot of people have your back that don't show it, and
Yeah.
I hope that really starts to change. And I hope that a lot of people, like even myself, like I didn't realize, I knew that it was a big deal for me to speak up, but not to the effect that you guys are telling me now, right? If now that you guys have told me this now, I'll be the first one to tweet something next time. You know what I mean? I think I was probably the last person to tweet something this time. And once again, I'm sorry for that, but I was scared shitless on what to do, what to say, and it's hard. But
well, yeah, being an outsider on this perspective, like on the situation, it's hard because all you can do is speculate and
Yeah,
see what the best course of action is for you, but you don't even know if what you think is the best course of action is really
exactly.
the best.
Yeah, exactly. And and that comes from a place of ignorance, and I should reach out to people more and get opinions from the people who are actually being hurt by the situation, right? So I can understand better.
Yeah, I guess I just want to say this before anything. I understand that we're all hurting. I can't tell you how you feel. If you're another black person, if you're a black woman, I can't imagine what you are dealing with personally, because although we all look, we all have the same color skin. We're all affected by these things differently. We all have our own traumas. We all experience pain in this specific way so uniquely that I can't speak for you. But I will say that no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're dealing with, no matter how bad this situation in particular, when in the place where we thought we were safe, because I kind of fool myself sometimes into believing that I was, right? Like, oh yeah, I can't go to the grocery store, but like we all play video games, so like we're all good, like we're
Exactly.
all cool.
Oh yeah,
you're
kind of
lull
just
yourself.
taking what you can get. You're just
Yeah,
taking
you like
what you can
lull
get.
yourself into this like weird, like fake feeling of like I belong because here, like we all do the same thing. We all love the same things. We're all in this thing on the right side of it, right? We're all playing games, and we can all agree that Revenant should get nerfed, and we can all agree that the Spitfire sucks, and we can all agree that the King's Canyon sucks. We can all agree on these things. So it, like, lulls you into this feeling of like, yeah, like we're all in this together kind of thing. And this happens, that glass shatters for a second. You're like,
And it
Exactly.
almost feels
Like,
like
whoa.
it feels like a betrayal at that
oh,
point.
100%,
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
It feels so much like a betrayal because you expect it when you go out. Okay, when I say I go outside, I don't know where anyone lives, and I don't know how different it is, but at the end of the day, we all deal with these things. When you go outside, it sucks. You're on guard. Like, I don't know if you understand, like a lot of people don't really understand. When you go outside, you're on guard as a black person, especially me, a black male that's large, right? And I'm not even gonna go down that route, but I'm on guard a lot. I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure that I look safe enough so that other people feel okay and everything is good. I don't have the luxury of just going out and just like not paying attention. I have to pay attention to everything.
You have to try super hard to
At
make
all
it seem
times.
like you're the big friendly giant. Because
At
if you
all
if you have resting bitch face for 1
It's
second,
over with. People feel
Yeah, exactly.
afraid. They're afraid, and you have no idea who I am. You don't understand that I would do anything for you if you asked me at the moment's time. You don't know that. But everyone's approach is always very fear of me. And like, you don't even, bro, like, you have no idea who I am. Like, you have no idea what I represent, what I believe in, what I stand for. But here, I'm like, yeah, we have a platform that is all good and everyone knows because we do this together, and it lulls you into this fake feeling of safeness, right? Of like, I'm good here. And then that glass shatters and you see the truth behind it all. And even from people that you thought respected you and you respected, to say these things, to feel these things, to defend your attacking, to defend your pain, to defend it in a sense is like, nah, you're the wrong one. That's the same thing we deal with every day out there. Every day. And I'm not even angry because I only know this. Does that make sense? I only ever have known this. So it makes me, I'm not angry out there because I know that. That's how I have to live. But in here, this one really hurt.
But you shouldn't have to live like that.
No,
here.
I shouldn't have to live that like that way anywhere, but especially here, right? And so for this to happen, the pain that we all saw, the pain that we felt when Peach said she cried, for real. Like, I know where you're coming from when you say that, because for real, it hurt. Because you're like, man, we're in Apex, and honestly, can I be honest? Like, a lot of us, I don't know if anybody came from other games streamed before. This is my first game that I'm really involved in the community like this. The first game I've ever streamed. I've ever been a part of. I'm building my career off this. I'm really deeply involved in it. And honestly, I've watched other games and how they treat their creators and how the love is, and it ain't the same as it is here. And I thought we have something special. It felt really, 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 really special.
Especially with the whole save Apex rank movement, like
everything.
To have that happen right after another,
right?
And that energy wasn't there. That energy was just gone the next day, and that was very heartbreaking.
It's more important because we're supposed to care about each other. But I say all this to say this: if you're feeling that pain, if you're feeling that fear, if you're feeling all those things that we feel every day in here, understand that you're not alone. That watching one of the biggest creators say something so harmful and nobody say anything to have your back about it, you're not alone feeling the way that you felt. And understand, and I said it earlier and I went on this big tangent, and I heard a lot today, and a lot of it impacted me, but I will always stand by the fact that love can conquer and will conquer all. And that doesn't necessarily mean that everything is just going to be okay tomorrow because I said I love you guys and it's all good, and this isn't still a thing, and Twitch chat isn't still breaking your heart. Because I will say this, I don't know if I'm pretty sure we can all agree, a lot of people who we know are not specifically Diego's community, but many people coming in of what's going on right now, you guys broke a lot of our hearts today, because understand that, like, you're a person behind those words, and I'm thinking of you as a human being, as an individual, the same way that you guys understand that we are people behind these walls, right? Or behind these screens, right? We're people. So all these things that we got to deal with, at the end of the day, I still believe that by putting out positivity, by putting out love, by sharing that love, by speaking on that love, by carrying that love in every single thing that we do, it may not change everything. It won't change everyone. It will not. But it can do something. I've watched it. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I know it to be true. Listen to what Joe said, bro. Listen to what Joe said. He literally said, I was in the wrong for years. And Joe, since I came on the scene day one, Joe has been nothing but loving and respecting to me and heard me.
I'll be honest, I forgot all about that. Joe brought that up. Like, exactly. I still see Joe as the most caring, outgoing, 100%. Loving guy ever. I forgot all about that. I'm not even gonna be honest, because he's keeping that energy to this day.
And the point of, and
I forgot all about that.
And where that comes from, in my opinion, is love. That's where that comes from. It's straight up love. So I said it once and I'll say it 1,000 times. There's so much pain. There's so many issues. There's so many problems. There's so much fear, so much hurt. But I guarantee the only thing, in my opinion, and you can disagree and I love you still, love is the only thing that will make a difference. You guys talked about Wig earlier. Movana, you brought up Wig, how awesome that was as an ally. Wig is a person that made me feel okay to tell everybody that I came past that I love them in this community, because that's what he does, right? And that's a white dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes the difference there? Love, 100% of the time. So yes, we deal with these pains, with these fears, all these things, but I truly believe, I say this every time that I've ever been introduced into the community, I truly believe in my heart that on this platform that we have the ability to reach so many people, affect so many people, influence so many people, and make a actual difference, right? To make an actual impact by what we do and what we say. Recently, people that we thought were on our side and were homies decided to make an impact that harmed us. Now I will continue to make an effort, and I hope everybody here and everybody else continues to make the effort to make the opposite impact. on the
Yeah,
rest of us.
counteract that. Counteract
that's
that
it,
shit.
Bro, the
that's
result
it.
the result needs to be collective, but it starts with you. It starts personally.
Personally.
And you as an individual, that's what starts it. It needs to be done collectively, but everyone has the ability to make a change and make a difference and better themselves and better the situation for other people that are dealing with these issues every day, like every day of their lives. So
1000%. That's all I have to say about that. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for having me here. I love every person who
Yeah, we
sat
love
down and
you too,
decided
homie.
to listen. I love Diego for setting this up.
Man.
I love and appreciate you guys big time. Thank you so much for speaking and saying what you had to say today. I feel very, very thankful to be here.
Thank you guys
Appreciate it,
all
Diego.
for coming. It was amazing
Diego,
listening to you guys all talk, and I learned an absolute fuck ton. Thank you guys so much. Holy shit.
Diego, I already said it in the group chat, but thank you for giving us a platform. You did something that probably no one else would have done, if we're honest here. You gave us, you amplified our voices. Thank you.
And just a reminder, there's going to be another one of these with Nicewig, and that group chat throughout this podcast got a lot bigger, so you're going to expect a lot more faces in there. So yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
DM me? You know what I'm saying?
I got you. Yeah. Thank you, Diego, man.
Yeah.
Really
This was
appreciate
great,
you.
guys. This was really great. I definitely feel a lot closer to you guys.
I do too.
Yeah, no, it was honestly awesome to get and talk with all you guys for a whole 3 hours.
needs to learn from Diego. Just saying.
Yeah,
I-
Diego is literally
like,
the
real
model
talk.
ally. He's the
Real
model
talk.
ally.
Real talk,
wait,
like this is like all we needed. Like we just needed y'all to hear us. And
See, in my
Diego-
mind, I was trying to do so much more, bro. I like
What more
in
could you
my-
have
don't-
done?
Yeah.
The thing is,
I don't know. I don't know,
The
like
biggest thing is you gave
fucking-
people voices, man. You gave them
Yeah.
a bigger audience, and you gave them something that they've been wanting to speak about. So
It-
you've done
See,
more than enough.
this is an excuse for every time this pops up. Every white creator just be like, all right, let me bring 4 black people
Yeah.
on my stream.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not what we're saying. Like, Diego actually sat here and understood everything what we said, even the things that Diego had different opinions on, he heard us out, heard what we had to say, and then he's like, okay, yeah, I get that. That's what makes
Yeah, he
it
wasn't trying to
matter.
Argue the point. He was trying to understand, take the information, and give a very constructive response to it. You know what I mean? That's super important. Is being constructive. It's not
Yeah,
blurting out
of
the first thing
course.
that comes to your mind or
because I wanna get your real thoughts, and I'm trying to ask you questions to bring those real thoughts out because I need to understand what you're feeling. And a lot of the times, those feelings are very solid to you, and your emotions are so real to you that you can say something and it feels very clear to you. But to me, I can't understand where you're coming from. So I need to poke and prod and ask questions from different angles to really understand the full picture and why it affects you the way that it does.
Yeah.
But
well, that's
um,
big on your part, though. You know what I mean?
and I don't know. I enjoy talking with you
Right,
guys. It's-
Yeah,
it was great.
It's been a long podcast. I know your brain's probably getting a little bit scrambled
I
eggs.
appreciate
It is.
man.
All right.
I don't talk to people for this long.
No, I can attest to that. I can
Yeah.
attest to that.
Yeah.
I've hung up with Dago IRL, and he.
I don't do this shit.
I'm the exact same way.
Yeah, thanks.
But
I appreciate you guys.
All right, y'all, man. I love every single one of y'all. It's
Love
been
that you have
great. I feel closer to a lot of y'all. And Drum, Joe, Peach, I've known you since season 3. I love you, girl. Movana. What's good, Movana? What's good?
You and I were very familiar,
What that mean?
weren't we?
What that mean?
Like,
What that
no,
mean?
no. Listen.
What do you mean by that?
Listen.
What do you mean by that?
listen, I'm gay, and if I were to go for any man,
Okay,
it'd be
okay.
Drum. But anyways, I gotta go.
The end for me, man. Thank
Yeah,
you
it's
so
been
much.
3
I didn't
hours. You
we're on
know,
the
I'm
Day
kind
One
of,
show.
I'm kind of disoriented. It's been 3 hours. Okay, it's been, you know, I gotta go walk my fish. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, damn, that's a way to end it.
I've suddenly developed permanent like tinnitus, so I can't hear anything.
You guys are just hating. Look at these haters. Whatever.
No, much love, guys. I appreciate you a lot.
All right.
We love you, Drum. We love you.
All right. I gotta get something to eat. I'm gonna hop out.
All right, guys.
All right.
Wait,
Peace, yo.
Wait, what's up?
Lobano,
Wait.
pub?
Yes.
Have fun.
Do you wanna?
Alright.
Do you wanna?